2, 1.
Good morning, a nice and early start for us in the studio ahead of the Australian Grand Prix, joined by Robbie. Good morning.
Whoa. Good morning. No, listen, good morning. Glad to be here, man. You know what, now that I've sort of sat down here,
I had a coffee.
Had a coffee and that, I'm feeling a little bit fresher, you know what I mean? It was a long day yesterday, you know what I mean? Small matter of Arsenal.
We are here purely to about F1 today. Purely.
Talk leagues. No,
I can't be doing Arsenal talk at this time today,
but no, you know what I mean? Like the small matter of Arsenal, because you know it's like for me, Abby, when obviously Arsenal are playing, right, it's a long day, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we've got all the interviews afterwards and stuff like that. So, and we start from early, so a long day. And then, you know, I said to myself last night, I go, boy, I'm going to go to bed as soon as I get home. Went to bed, I couldn't sleep, man. You know, sometimes you've been out, you just can't get to sleep, you know what I mean? I couldn't sleep. So I only had a couple of hours sleep, but listen, it's great to be here for the Australian Grand Prix.
You're just too excited, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Sleep with excitement.
And it looks so sunny out there and so bright, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's great to be here, man.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I mean, if only we were there, right? It is a little bit colder here.
Yeah.
Morning, Joe.
Morning.
Repping your Ferrari jacket.
Well, you know, of course, you know, there's always a lot of fans. Doesn't mean we're going to do particularly well, but got to wear the jacket for sure.
Matisse is also going to be joining us later.
Yeah, but now, listen, I'm taking exception to this, right? Out of it that I've got up, made it here, on time, yeah, with very minimal sleep, and he ain't here yet. Now, I know he's still crying about Chelsea yesterday, getting smashed, and I will mention that to him when he comes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But why is he late? No excuses.
Because the motto of Matisse is lateness is greatness, but I do keep telling him that it's not so
That's the
great.
same with Graham Potter.
Yeah, lateness is greatness. Anyway, let's talk about some F1 stuff, shall we? I mean, it's looking beautiful when we can see the weather right now, but it actually isn't meant to be, is it? I think it gave a 90% chance of rain within the first hour, so that has.
Wow.
I think they were playing around with their tyres yesterday, weren't they, Joe? Kind of ahead of what they were going to be doing and anticipating because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. In the qualifying session yesterday, there was all sorts of problems, different track temperatures, the potential of rain coming in and out, and it had rained before the qualifying, so they were slipping in Q1. I think today, it looks as though it's going to be a little bit more easy going in terms of the weather, but we will see the track temperature cooling as it cools, because obviously this is an afternoon into an evening race. It's currently about 18 degrees there. By the end of the race, it will be more like sort of 15. So we will see the track cooling, but the tyres will obviously be very warm by then. So yeah, I don't think we're going to see any rain, but I do think we're going to see a lot of action.
What's a rain, man?
You love it.
Rainy track.
What's a rain, man? Because you know what, I love sometimes a bit of rain. It just equalises things a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, a little bit of rain wouldn't it never harms in a Grand Prix, you know what I mean? So
it doesn't.
Reels Max back in.
Well, I mean, it was definitely interesting in terms of qualifying yesterday. Sergio Perez, who of course won last time out in Jeddah, had to retire at that very first corner.
Yeah.
Not good. I mean, it's a bit of a weird situation because it's like he's saying there's something wrong with the car. Essentially, Red Bull and the pit wall are saying there's nothing wrong with the car, and they're kind of saying it's all driver error, but I don't believe that Sergio Perez goes into the gravel 4 times if there's no fault with the car.
Strange, isn't it? We did a little review of the qualifying yesterday, and I don't know, it wasn't, it didn't feel right, whatever was going on there at Red Bull. I think, yeah, as you say, sticking it in the gravel, FP3, and then straight away, first lap of qualifying back into the gravel is not good. And he's going to start from the pit today. So there is certainly some sort of car error, or was some sort of car error, because they've had to change the car and they're taking a penalty for that for him. And also Bottas are going to start from the pit today, which is obviously even worse than starting further back down the grid. So I think, you know, hopefully for them they've fixed that, and for you wearing that jacket.
I've got Max P1.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll get to him in a minute. But yeah, I think certainly that honeymoon of 2 weeks ago in Jeddah, street circuit, first place, that honeymoon is very quickly over, finished yesterday, and he's got a real big job on his hands today.
Yeah, it's a real shame, isn't it, Rob? Because people were saying to him that, you know, he could be challenging. It's going to be a really interesting season. You know, this is a street circuit as well. The next few are street circuits after the break with Baku. And we know how well Perez does on those street circuits. But him pretty much starting at the back on the pit lane. I mean, that could really dent his drivers.
How comes his car so? Max Verstappen's car still running so well now.
There's some tampering.
I'm sorry, I'm on it with the conspiracy theories now, man. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Max, after the last race, you know what I mean, peed off with what happened. You know, as we saw, he tried to claim that. He did claim that fastest lap against team orders. As there have been some little shenanigans that has gone on to make that car. I mean, what happened to it?
Yeah.
It's the same car, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
that was with a few adjustments. It was a weird one. Can he do what Max did last time and come through the field? Because, you know, it is a really fast car.
It's a long way to come through, and also it's very difficult, if not impossible, to overtake on this circuit.
Yeah. So, it's a big blow for him. I mean, after winning the last race, he would have expected to be right up there challenging again, but he's kind of blown it in qualifying. So, but it is weird that he's saying fault with the car, they're saying not a fault with the car. That's...
Well, they've obviously made changes because he's going to be starting on that pit lane. So I wonder what they've done.
Yeah,
really.
It's interesting to see, and whether they've done enough, whether that car is gonna work for him today. So, or whether he just bins it straight away.
Yeah. Also, the thing is, if it is a fault with the car, could that same fault then go through to Max's car as well? We've seen that before in the past, where that's happened quite a few times. I remember last season with Ferrari, where both cars kind of had similar issues, you know what I mean, or it would develop with one car as maybe early in the race, and the next car gets it. So who knows? Could that be a problem that could hit the Red Bull team as a whole? So
yeah, well, I mean, he did have a relatively good weekend in terms of, you know, the car, Max Verstappen. You know, topped FP1 and FP3. But he
that's laps though, for the full race.
He did complain actually about those gear shifts again.
Oh, he's always moaning.
He's always complaining, man. I mean, him and Hamilton, innit? They're always moaning like there's always something wrong which never turns out to be wrong. Or
genuinely. So those guys at the top is like, I feel like they moan for, and it's anyone moaning for the sake of moaning to make it look like a more dramatic victory, like it was harder than it was. I can't see. I really, unless it's a completely insane race with loads of crashes and red cars, I struggle to see any other outcome than Max winning this race. I think behind that, there's a lot that could happen, but if he gets a quick start from that first straight and up into the first corner, then I think it's very, very difficult for anybody else to be winning this race. Yeah,
I think so. But let's see. Who knows what could happen today?
Who knows?
Ferrari.
Yeah.
I mean, they could only manage fifth. I mean, that's again Sainz. Sainz bettering Leclerc. I mean, I always tell you I prefer Sainz.
Yeah.
Seventh Leclerc was at the end. Well, I'm very underwhelmed with Ferrari this season, I can't lie. Yeah,
but join the club, honestly. I mean, Leclerc came out yesterday and basically went, I needed to drive better, which is sort of worrying because we normally go, well, you know, we can rely on the pace of Leclerc, even if it's the reliability.
Sainz looks more reliable out of the two.
And he's not any mechanical issues yet, that's the other thing. So, I don't know. I mean, I was really optimistic, particularly with Perez going out early in the qualifying session. There's just such a big chance for those two Ferraris to maybe even one of them to try and get on pole position, and they come in at 5th and 7th. You think, well, hold on, whoa, where's this ambition that we're talking about? Desperate to go for second, if not trying to win the constructors, and there's a big opportunity there with one of the Red Bulls further back, and. Sorry, Abby, they did a bit of a Spurs and bottled it, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, whoa,
sorry. Sorry about that.
Love that.
See, they're almost like him with your friends. And then at this time of the morning, you just want to bring Tottenham up.
I didn't say nothing. It weren't me.
It must be catchy over that couch. It must be. But, however, they are currently bottling things. Rob, where do you think that Ferrari, what is a realistic expectation? Because we thought that after they sorted out the strategy, which kind of let them down so many times in 2022, that they'd be all right this year.
Well,
but
they made a load of changes to staff and stuff like that, and got off to. I was excited to see what they might do this season. I mean, because I love Ferrari as well, and I really want to see them do well. They're the iconic team. But I don't know, they're very lackluster, you know, in qualifying, very lackluster in the earlier races so far. It's been a bit disappointing, man. I'd love to see them, you know, perform, but they just seem off the pace, don't they?
It's not
really
right.
just seem
Yeah,
off
it's
the
not.
pace.
It's really.
Do you think it's the car?
I think it's a combination of a few things. I think it's yes, the car is not as quick as the Red Bull. Nothing's as quick as the Red Bull, and we saw the reliability issues with Charles in race 1. I think Sainz hasn't been quick enough. Leclerc wasn't quick enough yesterday. But I also think it's getting to the point now where Ferrari have had a few years of essentially failure or not success, whichever way you want to put it. And I think it's becoming a mentality thing. I really do. To the point now where they're getting in their own heads about it. And instead of just getting in the car and driving beautifully, it's we need to show that we are not having mechanical failures, or we need to show that we are not making strategy errors and trying to overthink these things. And it's to the detriment of the team. It's not happy days at the moment for Ferrari, but come on, they can turn it around.
Yeah, they
right?
can. Look, it's not all doom and gloom. Especially in terms of Sainz, he's 5th on the grid.
Yeah.
He could finish P3. We don't know. He could win the race. We just don't know what can happen today.
I predicted him P3 yesterday, but that was maybe a little ambitious with both Mercedes and Alonso in front of him, and obviously Max.
I also had a Verstappen and Checo P1 and 2. So
yeah, that is probably quite unlikely, I guess.
Yes, obviously you can make predictions before qualifying.
Yeah.
Shall we move our attention to Mercedes?
Yeah.
I know you're a big Mercedes fan, Rob.
Yeah, and excited for them, man. I mean, it's really unexpected to see them, 2 and 3 on the grid. A real shock.
I think no one was actually more surprised than Russell and Hamilton were.
Yeah. And again, though, the really interesting thing is Russell out qualifying Lewis, man. He's doing this now on a consistent basis, you know what I mean? And got to take your hat off to him. He's really, that's...
Yeah,
I mean, the comments where... oh, no, look, it's just... wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I just saw Matisse out there. Out qualifying Lewis... It's the sort of thing Lewis used to do when he first came into F1. He used to out qualify Alonso, isn't it? Yeah. So George Russell's doing a fantastic job, you know what I mean? And... it's great to see Mercedes up there. You know what I mean? Because they had such a poor season last year. They didn't get off to the greatest of starts this year, but to see them there, and they're in with a chance.
Yeah, they absolutely
This is F1. You never know what, I mean, it could be, like we said, a little mechanical thing or a...
They've blocked out that second row. They couldn't have asked for much more. At one point, Hamilton was on pole with the lap time, wasn't he? So, I think
it's whether they're going to be able to maintain it, though, throughout the race. Are they going to be able to get away from, like, Alonso? And, you know what I mean? So, but, listen, it's great to... I just think it's great for F1
to see
them up there competing because basically, and again, we go back to the moaning and groaning of these drivers. The way they were carrying on, the way they were talking, is like, we're so far off it, or, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, they're back in the mix. So great.
Okay, we'll come back to Mercedes in a second. We have a prediction video from Sam, so let's take a look at that.
Hi guys, Sam from planetf1.com here. First of all, massive apologies I'm not in the studio for this race, but massive respect to those of you are, because as we all know, it's ridiculously early in the UK. But if you want the Monacos, you got to take the Melbournes. And hopefully, for those of you tuned in, should be in for a fairly interesting race. I mean, qualifying threw up some surprises. I mean, no surprise that Max Verstappen starting P1. Everyone predicted that going in. But there is a surprise with his teammates starting at the very back. Sergio Perez having a dreadful Saturday, not only in qualifying, but in the practice session before. And so there's a real question now of how far up the grid can he make it? Can he get to the points? Can he get to the podiums? That's something that's going to play out over the race. In terms of the upper end of the grid, huge result for Mercedes, P2 and P3. I mean, who predicted that going into the weekend? So it'd be a question of whether they can hold on to it. I mean, they've got the Alonso behind, they've got Stroll behind as well, who's looked quick, and they've got the Ferraris as well. So it could be a tough ask over the length of the race, but you never know, really. That Mercedes started to look a little bit better than we've seen previously. In terms of my top 3 predictions, I'm going to have to stick with Max to win the race. Starting from pole, he's got the quickest car, and he's the best driver in the best form at the moment. So he's an easy pick for number 1 for me. Number 2, I'm going to back Alonso to have the pace over the race to get past the Mercedes and keep the Ferraris behind. So I'm going to go Alonso P2. I don't think Sergio Perez is going to be able to quite get up to those podium spots. But having said that, I think Alonso will get past the Mercedes. I don't think they'll be that bad this weekend. And I think Russell's already shown an ability to get something out of that car. And if the car's had a bit more performance, then why not? Why can't he get a podium? So those are my top 3. I'm going to go Verstappen, Alonso and Russell. Enjoy the race, guys.
Okay, we also have a competition, don't we? You can win a PS5, so you've got to stay tuned on Instagram. But the first rule is you must subscribe to the channel. And also, while you're there, go and smash that like button.
Do you know, I'm gutted about this because I was
You can't
speaking
enter.
to production. I can't enter.
No, you
I was
can't
going, what's
enter.
this about? Mad. I thought I was going to, like, do you know, sneak in, you know, have a word or whatever, pick it up. No, unbelievable.
Yeah, but you get other perks, like being here at this time.
Yeah,
and getting,
it's so much fun.
Croissant out there. That's your perks.
No, I didn't realise that we were allowed to turn up at 10 to 6. Otherwise,
Well,
I'd have.
Yeah.
Some of us have been up
What's
since
with that,
like
man?
3.
I didn't go to sleep. You underestimate me.
What are you doing? Doing more videos?
Well, just literally just like
Potter out campaigns.
reminiscing on what happened yesterday.
He's crying over Chelsea, you know. Now listen, right?
Well, we can say that.
Maybe you should go to sleep before the game.
Now that you're here, I want to ask you about Mercedes as well. We were just talking about it.
Yeah.
But a great day. The only issue is they have got no idea how it happened.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, everybody seems stunned. Everybody seems shocked. Hamilton had a little buzz to him as well. He seems really motivated. I don't know how far they can really push Verstappen considering all the DRS zones, but you are the one standing in between me and a win finally at Mercedes. And I need it so badly, especially for Hamilton, because it's been a while, and Russell at least, you know, has been competitive in that car and been consistent. So
I'm such a big fan of him. I really am.
Yeah.
I really am. I think he's such a
Russell.
great driver. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've met him, and he's such a nice guy. Like, you know, like how you see him on the screen there.
He
You know what I
seems
mean? He was like that as well. Although when I met him, he was at Williams. That was before he got his big move. So maybe he's on the humble tip there.
Might
I don't know what he's
change a little
like
bit
now,
now.
but he seems like he's still the same sort of guy. And I mean, so I'm rooting for either him or Hamilton today. I'd like to see a different winner.
yeah,
You
just,
know what I mean?
just to keep things interesting, as well.
Just so you-
especially
you know
after
what I
what
mean?
happened to Checo.
Yeah, I'm sad about Checo.
Yeah.
Because you know,
Slightly, I think I love Checo more than I love Max.
Wow.
I want to see.
I feel like
Really?
no one roots for Checo.
No one.
And
Well,
I-
all of Mexico.
All of Mexico do. And I feel like we do, but in terms of the team, obviously they always favour Max, and Max is such an incredible driver. But I still feel like even if they were neck and neck on points, like going into the latter end of the season, they'd still favour
100%.
Verstappen,
100%.
which
Yeah.
I find unfair. Because
Yeah.
I really like Checo.
Yeah,
And I'm
strange, isn't
convinced
it?
there's been some tampering with the car because you just don't end up in
That's
the
what I
gravel that
reckon.
many times.
Yeah.
I'm up with that conspiracy
Yeah,
theory.
you honestly.
Something has been touched on in that car, man.
No, I love a conspiracy theory, mate. I'm so into, you know me.
Right, ahead of getting started, we've got about 8 minutes till the race gets underway. Alex Albon yesterday, I was buzzing for him.
Yeah, unbelievable. The guy absolutely loves Australia.
Yeah.
Last year went 57 laps on one tyre compound,
Yeah.
pulls in, goes onto the softs, and then comes in and finishes 10th place, and then has an absolute storm of qualifying. Where's he starting today? Is it 8th?
Eighth, yeah.
Unbelievable.
It
Alex
is.
Albon in a Williams. So I'd love to see him get score some more points again this year. It'd be fantastic.
him and he and Hulkenberg, what you were saying in Q2 and
Yeah.
Q1, they were looking like they were actually going to do something crazy,
Yeah.
like really make us like a mad move for
Yeah.
one of those top 5 positions.
Just getting
couldn't stick in
those
the end.
teams getting into Q3 is so big.
It really is.
So
I feel like
big.
McLaren's kind of left a gap now.
Yeah.
To be exploited by these teams, because usually you'd expect McLaren to be comfortably, you know, at least get into Q3 with the 2 cars, and then if they don't do anything else from there, so be it. But
Yeah.
don't do this.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy
birthday, dear Matisse.
Happy birthday
to you.
Appreciate it.
Wow, that was some good
You got to make a
combinations.
wish. Is it Lewis to win? I'd imagine.
Is it for Potter to stay? Chelsea to stay? Chelsea to stay up? Chelsea to stay up.
Alright, I'm gonna do
Chelsea to
one
stay
for
up.
Chelsea to stay up, one for Hamilton, and
One for Nagelsmann?
Nah, I don't. Nah.
I think a second one for us to stay up. You know what I mean? We need all the luck we can
Do you
get.
know what?
you
It makes me laugh.
You're not meant to tell your wishes. They don't come true now.
Yay! Tricked ya.
Oh damn, we getting
When
relegated.
you get relegated, that'll be the best thing ever. It's so funny. What? What?
They won't need me here covering championship.
Sorry, what? Anyway, yes, back to Williams. I mean, as we were saying, you know, we thought at the beginning of the season that we'd see Williams and we'd see Haas be more competitive this season, and they absolutely have been. And I don't know what we're crediting it to, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I've got a soft spot for Williams. You know what I mean? My friend used to work for them. You know what I mean? I was a guest of Williams one time at Monza. They treated me so nice.
Rub it
wow.
in, why don't you?
It was
That's amazing.
unbelievable.
When do we get that?
let me tell you, right? I've been to a lot of sporting events as a guest, luckily, and had some great VIP stuff and that in the past. Not as many as Abbi, but I've had, right? But that one when I was guest of Williams is the best ever.
Really?
Because I was like in the pits.
Wow.
So like
Oh,
I was
mate.
in the pits. I was able to watch the race from inside the pits. I was able to listen to all the team instructions with the headphones
That's
on.
a dream.
And it was just unbelievable, you know what I mean? And I remember that race, Leclerc won actually for Ferrari.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, and the atmosphere there, because it was in Italy, and obviously Ferrari, the atmosphere was incredible. And I just, honestly, it was the best experience. And like the motorhome things that they have, you hear them say, "Oh, we've got these little motorhome. We've got they're moving the motorhomes to the next race." The setups is incredible. I mean, you want to see Red Bull and Mercedes.
Yeah,
I think it's like literally like they move a block of flats
Yeah.
to the race. You know what I mean? It's incredible.
Wow.
I was just blown away by what it takes to set up a team for each race, you know what I mean? And so Williams, they looked after me nice that day. As I said, I met George Russell, was chatting to him as well. And it was just an incredible day walking down the pits. I went into Mercedes, I went into Red Bull, you know, because
I think we might need to.
honestly,
that back
we need to
Yeah.
try to. My friend's left. He's left
Oh,
the team. I'm like,
mate.
"Yo, what are you doing leaving for, man? You gotta stay there." You know what I
Right,
mean?
when we
Like,
start this channel, he's left.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get him on one time as well, because
Yeah.
he worked for he worked in F1 basically for over 20 years, so doing
Wow.
all like the logistical stuff and that. He really, you know, so he also helped me to get even deeper into F1, because you know, but. As I said, that behind the scenes stuff is incredible. You want to see how many trucks have to turn up at the end of these races to move it on to the next.
So you're saying that the brakes are justified? Because I would like race
Oh no,
every single
they're
week.
justified, because they literally have to like root it up and take everything down and move on again.
Yeah.
Let's go to production, let's see.
Morning everyone, happy birthday Matisse.
Thank you.
Just a couple of things for you guys from the grid. There's been a lot of smoke coming from Verstappen's car when he started the engine on the grid earlier on, just after coming off from the sighting lap. And Russell's after having an issue with a sensor in his gearbox, so Mercedes have been just absolutely sure with it and changed the gearbox just for precaution.
I'm gonna.
Wow.
I'm actually gonna shed a tear.
Gearbox will be within their allowance for the season, I'd imagine, right? So there's no penalty there because you get a certain amount of things that you can change.
I
think it's three, but that's not the sort of time you want to be changing a gearbox. You want to change them, you know, if you can, sporadically throughout the season, not be, you know, changing things so early into the season like we saw with Leclerc, you know.
Yeah.
So that's certainly one to watch. That interesting.
I'm not gonna lie. If Verstappen has issues, I may shed a tear. Honestly, that might have been one of my wishes.
Well, if that
Just
car,
to make it a bit interesting, isn't it?
well, that's the only hope that people have against Red Bull is the reliability of the car.
Yeah.
Both drivers are incredibly quick, and that car in full working order is quicker than everybody else. We talked a bit about the DRS yesterday. We'll talk about more of that later. But that's only everybody's hope. The only chance that other people have is reliability, essentially. Yeah. So interesting, is there?
Should we just run through the grid lineup as we are about to get underway? So, of course, first P1 is Verstappen, P2 Russell, P3 Hamilton, P4 Alonso, P5 Sainz, 6 is Stroll, Leclerc 7th, Alex Albon in 8th, Pierre Gasly in 9th, Hülkenberg in 10th, great start for Haas, 11th is Ocon, 12th Tsunoda, 13th Lando Norris, 14th Kevin Magnussen, 15th De Vries, 16th Piastri, 17th Zhou Guanyu, 18th Logan Sargent, and of course Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas start on the grid on the pit lane, even on the pit lane. Alonso?
Yeah, I mean, they've been brilliant, haven't they, Aston Martin?
Yeah. But a little bit disappointing maybe in fourth, isn't it? After what looked like was going to be a strong potential, maybe P2 for him as well.
Yeah, it's interesting how our opinions have changed with that in 3 weeks, isn't it? You know,
Getting
pre-season, if we had said
disappointed,
Alonso starting fourth at Australia, you'd have gone, what?
Also
Fourth?
in an Aston.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's all credit to them. I think he's got a very, very good shot of getting on that podium. The Aston Martin, I think, is quicker than the Mercedes, so it will be interesting to see whether he can do a job. The benefit being for Mercedes that they have both of their cars up there in Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Here we go, looking at a little formation lap.
Warm up them tyres.
Kick things up, yeah.
What was so interesting yesterday when we was doing qualifying was the fact that nobody needed to come in for Q1 and Q2. It was nuts. It was just like they just stayed out there, kept the tyres warm.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of a longer stint, and it seemed to work up until Q3 when they decided to come in.
Let's keep an eye on Verstappen's car here, see if there's any more of that engine problem that we were hearing about.
If it's genuine.
Yeah, or he's just
So you know what? There's so many of these.
Yeah.
Could have been a smoke machine, just some theatrics.
Yeah, you know, there's so many of these little things, but you know.
Just having a look at that, there's predominantly people have started on medium tyres.
And we think the last
I think obviously it's tactical from Alpine. They've gone with a soft tyre, but most have gone on mediums.
Yeah, Perez from the back is I think the only driver, or one of the only drivers starting on the hard. So they're maybe looking to do what Albon did last season.
That's absolutely tactical, isn't it?
Yeah, and just keep him out for as long as possible.
Perez is pretty good at managing his tyres, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He should be able to.
And generally the deg on the Red Bull isn't bad. Oh, so we're having a look at the pit stop times, right?
Yeah.
Matisse, I was trying to explain the pit stop game to Abbi and Robbie. And
to be fair, it was like literally 5 to 10 past 5. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, literally as soon as they come in, you have to very quickly. Have we got whiteboards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very quickly write down the time to the second.
As soon as they drive into the pit.
Yeah, as soon as that pit stop starts, you need to try and guess the time, and if you get it spot on, then you get a point on the leaderboard. It's very difficult.
You're the only person to score this season, aren't you?
Yeah.
To get one right.
Like if you can get one in a race, you're pretty much doing a good job. I got one in the first race of the season.
Okay, right. Well, before this race starts and formation lap, let's get our whiteboards. Let's have a write down, shall we, of our top 3 today. Let's try and not be biased, guys.
Says the one in the Red Bull jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, my pen's not working.
Just because we don't have a Mercedes jacket for you.
Soon we will.
I'm going to stick with what I said yesterday, which is
This pen doesn't
probably
work
ridiculous. I'm going to go
You go first.
Max,
with the pen.
Lewis, Sainz in that order.
Max, Lewis,
Sainz. Can you see it? I don't know.
I don't know. Now that I'm hearing Max has
Is your
problems.
pen working?
Yeah.
Go on.
If you got it already. Now that I'm hearing Max might have problems.
So there's Checo in the pit. We see those hard tyres.
So he starts from the pit lane.
Him and Bottas, yeah.
Bottas wasn't from qualifying, was it?
No, we'll have a
I'm
quick chat
going
about that.
Max, Lewis, Russell.
Oh, double Mercedes podium.
Double Mercedes podium.
All right, here we go.
I love the way you snuck in Sainz there.
Yeah, I've got to do it, mate. You know what I mean? Here we go.
I've gone Max, Russell, Alonso.
Yeah, Alonso.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Right, here we go, innit?
Yeah, I've gone Max, Lewis, Alonso.
Oh, you've got no respect for George Russell. It's so
I have
rude.
respect.
It's so rude.
I have respect.
All right.
But he's got a.
I'd love to. George could even win it.
George is so good.
There are the guys at the pit.
I've got to back Lewis.
I'll
He's
have
in
him
his
at
final
Red Bull.
years.
Yeah, he is in his final years, you can see.
Wait, who are you going to take out? Checo. What happened to
No.
respecting Checo?
Here we
No, I
go,
love
here we
Checo.
go.
Here we go, here we go.
All right, it is lights out.
They're off.
There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
Verstappen's off.
Strong,
to a good
great
start
start
there.
from
Verstappen,
Max,
isn't
yeah.
it?
But Lewis is
Trying to cover the.
Oh, he's
coming
coming
across.
from inside.
No!
Yes! It's right ahead of him.
Oh, we went
Oh
wide
my
there.
God, George is ahead.
Go on,
Is that
George.
George out? out in front.
Love to see
Oh,
that.
my
God.
Well done, George, mate.
And
Yeah.
Max's car. Max must have a car issue.
Take him, yes!
Oh my God! Leclerc spun out. Leclerc.
Yes! Hey, Verstappen's in third!
Yellow flag. It's going to be a. Oh my
Oh
God.
my God, Verstappen's actually got problems.
Listen,
Verstappen's
so slow.
it's literally been 10 seconds. Wanna just
Oh my
check?
God.
Look at that. Look at that.
Why
That's
is
a
that?
brilliant-
Verstappen's
They're going to be. There's going to be a.
Brilliant
There could well be a virtual here
Oh my
They might have to
days.
go back.
because Leclerc. We saw Leclerc spun off.
But he spun right
Ferrari
off.
man.
Come on. This is fantastic. Mercedes 1-2.
This is good for the race, though,
What a
isn't it?
start. This is
This is
brilliant.
good for the
Phenomenal,
race.
mate. Unbelievable
Look
for
at
the race.
Verstappen,
This.
what? He's so slow.
Well, what's interesting is those Mercedes have pretty much blocked out that front row.
Yeah.
God.
Oh my God.
Unreal.
That's
Unreal.
crazy
What
from
a
Mercedes.
start.
Brilliant
We've still
start.
got a yellow flag in sector 1, which means there's either debris or the car is still there. They haven't cut back to it
Yeah.
yet. Safety car. Safety car.
Safety
Safety car.
car.
They're going to bunch
I'll
up.
tell you what.
Look at the lead Russell was building out in front.
Yeah.
He's out. He's out.
He's out.
Charles Leclerc out.
Your
on
predictions
that
went well,
first
didn't? Well, you
turn.
said Sainz, didn't you?
He did say Sainz.
Wow.
You better start being nice to Mercedes.
That's how I feel.
Listen,
That
you
guy.
better start being nice to Mercedes very soon because we are working juju on your team right now.
Wow.
Charles Leclerc.
Well, George Russell, man. Trust
He
me.
built up such a good
Get
lead,
in
and
there,
now
George.
everybody's just going to bunch up.
Yeah, everyone's going to bunch
Get
out.
in there, George,
It's literally
man.
going to be
Brilliant.
as if we've got another restart, essentially.
Ocon's coming. Is that Ocon coming to the
That-
pit? Yeah, Ocon's
that is
coming to the
Ocon,
pit,
right.
which means I imagine maybe
haven't
he's
got
the one.
enough
Him and
touch.
Leclerc had a touch or something. He's gone on to hards.
that was-
Interestingly.
What a great start.
Quick.
I mean, that's a wild start. I mean, obviously, at the moment, Russell in pole, Hamilton second, Verstappen down 2 places to third.
There's
Sainz-
quite a few of them coming in
Sainz
here.
up to
Yeah, a
fourth.
lot of them are coming in. They're trying
I
to
think
take
a lot of them are
advantage.
putting on hards and going to go long. A lot of them could be making their one stop for
Is that
potentially.
After one lap.
That's mainly the midfield coming in, though, isn't
Well,
it?
we saw
just Verstappen,
Alex Albon did it on a one stop last year, 57 laps and then one stop. Here we go. This is
Let's
what
have
happened
a
to
look.
Leclerc.
Did he get clipped?
Oh, so you're saying they can go to the end of the race?
Well, potentially.
He's coming through the field.
He
he's
gets
clipped.
clipped. He gets clipped
He
at the
gets
back.
clipped. He looked like
Oh,
he's
man.
clipped somebody, hasn't he? He's actually hit someone.
I think it's his back. His back left
This is
gets
what it's
done.
one. Is that Aston
Yeah, his
Martin?
back
Yeah,
left
yeah.
gets done by Stroll.
Told you this guy Stroll can't drive, yeah.
This is,
Daddy's money.
So
This is Stroll here, isn't
we'll see it in
Stroll's
front.
gonna-
Yeah, we'll see it in front here.
He just got his teammate.
It's racing incident, I
I
think.
think his teammate kind of didn't really give him any room, so he kind of just sandwiched in the end.
Yeah, no further investigation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a racing incident.
That's
but
Alonso, isn't it? Who got off to quite maybe a slow start, was it?
I think it was Stroll that touched. Alex Albon is in 6th.
Whoa.
Mad, wow.
Get in there,
He's
Albon,
the
man.
one
Williams.
splitting the two Aston Martins.
Mercedes engine.
Yeah, because Alonso got off to a bit of a slow start. He's dropped a little bit, I think.
Oh, come on. Can George maintain this?
I mean,
Well, he's only got 58 laps to go. So, with Verstappen, literally.
I know,
The thing is, what
breathing down your neck.
we're going to see is how well Mercedes can defend.
You're such a Red Bull fan.
yeah,
She's so committed.
I'm a Red Bull fan.
it comes
Be
back.
happy for our boy Russell. Be
I,
happy for
look,
George.
I really like George Russell. I
We need
really,
this
really do.
for
I
the
think-
sport. It's good for the entertainment.
It is. It's good for the competitiveness of there. And
This is good for the entertainment.
as long as Max finishes
I
in
agree.
the points, I don't really mind. I'm all for it being competitive. I don't really mind.
What happened to Max at the start here? Let me
Well,
just-
let's keep an eye on him. That's currently that first car, but he gets done fairly quickly by Russell.
Well,
on the
if
inside.
you have a look, he was trying to defend.
Very aggressive.
I don't think he could decide who to defend
No.
off, Russell or Hamilton.
Yeah.
But and he just
then
kind of went a little bit
But look how
wide,
slow he is on the straight there.
which is
Yeah.
something we don't really see from.
and he
He
brakes
really slow
brakes
on the
quickly
straight
and then gets done on the.
It's uncomfortable.
Was that tactical though from Mercedes?
Well, whatever they've done is absolutely. The thing is, Mercedes have been moaning the whole time about the quality of the car. We know that the garage, the strategic plan that Mercedes have in place can be fantastic, and they're now in a 1-2.
But now they need to manage this situation
Yeah.
as a team
Correct,
and
yeah.
bring it home. That's the key here.
Be really, really interesting.
It's
to see what
early on,
happens there.
guys.
Get these
It's very, very
opportunities
early
very
on, but
often.
it is an absolutely great.
Safety car coming in this lap, so we're going to go racing again shortly.
Yes, we are going to go racing. Shall I have a look and see what's going on in the chat? Because there are 300 of you which are awake.
There you go.
311 of you which
You're
are up
right.
at this time.
Yeah.
So huge
Good on
big
you.
up to
Fair
you.
play.
Yeah.
He pushed me off the track. I was ahead at the apex, he pushed me off. So that's Verstappen complaining, I imagine, there about Lewis of that second overtake.
I would think so.
Here, this one, where he's saying he pushed him off.
I'm convinced. Ooh. I think this is all tactical by Mercedes.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've obviously, like, in part, he's not pushed him off the track there, is he? Really?
So that was very clean. George Russell's overtake is very clean. I think it's the Lewis overtake that he's moaning about, the next one.
To be fair, I don't think Verstappen, from what I've watched...
Here we go, they're going to go again.
He's been coming through the...
Come on, Sainz.
Here we go.
Come on.
About
safety car is
overtakes.
ending, and we can go racing any minute now.
Thing is now, Verstappen's got to get past 2...
And there we go. We're off. We're back racing again. Let's see how quick they can. Let's see how quick.
That straight line speed now. Yeah, I want to see it because he was.
So Verstappen's having a little peak already, but I mean, Sainz seems to be already dropping off. I mean, the safety car's only just started, mate. Come on.
I need Hamilton to get down the road.
Well, Alonso's dropped to 5th. We know that they're not particularly strong on the straights in the Aston. Is that going to be a problem today?
Potentially. It's not the quickest track out there. I think with top speed on the track, we expect to be about 202 miles an hour. We'd see them go up to higher than that on other circuits. But it's those DRS zones that's going to make the difference, and particularly with the Red Bull. So we'll see.
Okay, Ian in the chat says, good evening. Matisse, greetings from the Western US.
Big up, big up.
Sean says, Perez coming back to P2, note that. Capo TV says, Matisse sleeping on the job like Chelsea this season.
Hey, I've been there every race.
We've got a shout from production, go for it.
Yeah, so as we're back on the racing after that crazy start, some very interesting team radio from Verstappen trying to say that Russell came across on him and tried to push him off the track. So I wouldn't expect anything to come from that, but it's interesting what he's saying, all the same.
I can't hear Max Verstappen telling anybody that they're doing an aggressive overtake. That is,
He's not
that
aggressive.
hurts my soul. I don't really hear that from Max Verstappen at all.
Where's Carlos Sainz? What's he doing?
Carlos Sainz just...
He's already pulled back. He's not going to be in DRS.
Yeah, Sainz is just enjoying life, man. Don't worry about that.
He's already... it does wind me
You're not
up.
really getting away from Verstappen.
I'll be honest, this is not one of my favourite tracks.
Why?
I like tracks that have long straights and that you can just I just prefer different tracks.
Is that because you've got a quick car and a straight line?
She's got the quickest car,
Yeah.
and she wants the straight line speed and the wings to open up.
It's not my favourite track. Like, it's just not.
shameless.
I don't get that excited about this track.
So we are going to see both Hamilton and Verstappen have DRS in a couple of laps' time.
Come on.
Oh, I don't know. I still back Max all the way. You cannot write Max off.
No.
Yeah, you can't write him off, especially in that position.
You cannot.
They're not pulling away from him yet, are they?
No.
So
I didn't like that safety car because George was getting down the road quickly.
He was.
It was bad timing for George, that safety car.
Well, just having a look, pretty much everyone from 13 up, except for Gasly, is on medium tyres.
I wonder if...
Everyone else, 14th to the bottom, are on hard. So that's obviously, that is all completely tactical, isn't it?
Yeah, those guys are going to be all the ones that came in and pitted, going, whether it is to the end of the race or maybe looking to pit again around maybe lap 40. We know that the hards do survive very well on this track. So there's certainly an opportunity there for that. So it'll be, it's going to be interesting.
Okay, Max has just set the fastest lap, of course. It was originally with Russell. Not anymore.
If Lewis starts lapping slightly quicker than Russell, are they going to flip those two? What's the decision going to be on that? That's what I'm looking for.
We'd have to argue, in recent history, Russell's been the more reliable.
He has. Much more consistent, quicker in qualifying as well.
At the moment, though, it's Russell that's pulling away. He's nearly out of the DRS of Hamilton, so I can't imagine they're going to let their two cars fight in a 1-2.
No, they shouldn't.
They need to be picking up points.
This is not the time for that.
especially with Max is in third as well. They need to have a strategy to keep him off.
Yeah, I think they will have a strategy.
Keep him back there,
I think from the start they definitely had a strategy in terms of how they were going to try and block Max out from being on that second row together. So I don't know.
Come on.
However, Lewis will not be wanting to be no number 2, will he?
I say that, and Lewis is
really pushing.
Lewis is really looking at him.
Lewis
is looking to get past.
He's right up on him.
Got a lot of speed. Lewis is really on
up on him.
See, but this could play into Max's hands.
Massively.
This could massively play into Max's hands. Max is
right
there. This is why I say to you, he's like Shark. He's always there.
Like Man City.
This is like 2021 all over again.
Shark team.
Shark team. Yeah, I mean, if they start getting into with each other.
Fastest lap from Alonso, is it?
Yeah, Alonso, fastest
Come on,
lap.
Lewis, man.
Do you know what, man? I'd absolutely love to see a Mercedes 1-2. Like,
Yeah?
so much.
Where's
so
Perez,
much.
by the way? Where's Sergio Perez?
16th.
He's up to 16th. He's up to
This is not
16th.
really-
Russell on
flying
team
through, yeah.
radio, what's he saying?
I mean, not bad so far. He's up to 16th. He's gradually getting there.
Yeah, I guess from the,
Starting from the back, if he's already up there. Don't know, we'll have to wait and see what's going on and keep an eye on this Red Bull battle with what's going on with Mercedes.
Ooh, Albon, yellow flag. Albon's gone off.
Yellow flag.
Albon's gone off.
Oh, no.
We're going to see another safety. They need to safety car that. He's on the track. They need to safety car that.
That's in a dangerous area as well.
Oh, that's really blind, that corner. That's really blind.
That is a dangerous.
It's going to be another massive opportunity for Max Verstappen now. Who's going to come in and put on the soft tyres or change or go to hards?
Oh.
Two safety
Albon,
cars.
man.
I'm gutted for
Safety cars
Albon.
He's having
already.
such a good race. He's had such a good weekend.
Has he beached it, do we think, or is he getting that car? No, he's not
That
getting
is
that.
a massive, massive
Looks
blow
like
for Williams.
the Ferraris are having a look at
I think everybody's going to come
Red
in on
Bull.
it.
Ferrari.
singular. Right, yeah, he's beached it. So that could be a.
Do you think that's a mistake he's made?
Yeah.
We'll have to have a look, but I'm just wondering if that's
Oh, he was
if that's
having
fully
such a
beached. He's half on the track.
I'll have to stop the race.
Well, I don't know whether
Alonso's
they
not
might have
coming
to
in,
look
is
at
he?
red flagging it.
Alonso's not going to come in. He'll be leading this
So
race,
who's that
won't he?
come in? Oh, Pit.
They double.
Oh, we haven't done a pit.
Damn! Oh, it was slow. 3.6.
Before we hit Russell.
I can't see.
Oh,
Before we could even write it down, like he was
it was already done.
I can't see because we got it on mute and it covers where the time
There
is.
it is. Okay,
Was
so
it a
we're gonna-
3.6?
While this safety car's out, we're going to see obviously a lot of pits.
That was a really
and stuff
slow
like that.
pit stop from Russell, wasn't it?
It didn't look quick.
So
Yeah, it also
Hamilton's
gives
taken the
Hamilton the
lead
lead.
of the race now. Verstappen didn't come in either.
Russell down to 7th after that pit.
What tyres? So he's put on the hard tyre, so he's going to look to go long.
Now this is really interesting, isn't it?
That
Because
car's still out there.
If
They've got to
Max,
lift it. They've got to lift it. He's got the.
Yeah,
crane
they are
there.
going to just go for a safety. I thought they might look at a red.
right, we're
because
going to
it's
have
on the
a
track.
look back at that.
Oh, it's
That's
a spin. Oh, it's big.
He spun it.
wow.
Oh, that's
I'll
dangerous.
tell you what, those cars that came in just after him, they were
Oh my
So
God, that-
lucky. My
very
God.
fortunate to avoid that. That could have been horrible.
Oh, that could have been nasty, mate.
Really, really dangerous.
Oh, he
corner,
must be
that one.
absolutely gutted, and he was out.
Proper high
off the
speed
Australian.
corner.
Oh, God.
Albon, man.
Oh, I really, really feel for him.
Yeah, Williams having a good
He was going to get some
weekend.
solid, looking like he was going to get some solid points.
Yeah,
Because he's been quick all weekend,
Mate, he
so
was
I would
up
have
in
backed him
sixth.
to continue being quick throughout the race.
He's
He
doing
looks
so
gutted, doesn't he?
well.
You can see he looks gutted there. But I'll tell you what,
I'm glad he's okay.
You're
That's the
okay
main
because
thing.
that's
And
isn't
not
it?
no
bad.
one, no one else
that's
got
quite a
hurt.
bad crash, and it's where he ended up. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a quick part of the track as well. God, I'm
Yeah.
glad he's okay.
Well, just looking at how it is, Hamilton will lead the line in first. Verstappen is right there.
So
And
sorry.
I was going to say, I hate to say it, but I mean, I can just see that being overtaken straight away.
Nah.
Well, that's
Lewis.
exact. Lewis has said the
I need
same.
Lewis to hold his own here.
He's saying that
He hasn't got that double defence now.
Well, he's saying that Russell coming in has put him at red flag. It is a red flag.
It's a red flag.
Why did they bring in Russell and nobody else came in that front part of the grid?
Well,
They put on the hards, right? Is just what you said.
and Lewis was saying that he felt he was at a disadvantage because
Being behind Russell.
well, he felt more vulnerable essentially, yeah,
So Verstappen,
but Verstappen stayed out as well. So now it's really interesting because George Russell has come in and pitted under a safety car, but now it's gone to a red flag. So he's going to be in 7th coming back out after that red flag.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the
I
advantage.
can't
is
help but
completely
feel
gone.
they may have.
Completely gone. Did
I can't-
Mercedes pit
That could be a
that
mistake
too
by
quickly?
Mercedes.
I can't help but feel that is a massive error now by Mercedes.
On a
and
strategy-
George
on a
Russell.
strategy
The car was
front.
half on the track. I mean, even we were talking about potentially that was
Yeah.
going to be a red, and Mercedes said they jumped the gun a bit with that.
Yeah.
He's gone from leading the Grand Prix to P7 in the blink of an
P7.
eye. That is
He'll
an
be absolutely
absolute
devastated.
fucking disaster for
Yeah.
Mercedes. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a strategy error.
massive.
When looking at it.
Jump the gun too quickly,
Yeah. And
'Cause you
And
can
they had
change-
all the control as well.
Yeah.
and everyone can change their tyres under a red flag. So everyone's going to come out on fresh
So
tyres.
he's not going to
There's
have no
there's
advantage.
no advantage
No
at
advantage
all.
as well.
massive.
They,
And
they,
then
they
now,
should have just waited.
you know, they had 2 of them keeping off.
Oh,
Verstappen,
Russell,
and now-
mate.
What a blunder that is.
Now they don't have that now. The
No.
2 of them keeping
No,
off.
tell
Sergio
you-
Perez is up to 14.
Toto, what you doing?
Sergio,
Oh, I mean that is
That's really
genuinely
that's really, really
that is
bad.
that could be the worst strategy error we've seen this season.
And we've seen a lot from Ferrari.
Yeah. All right.
See, now she's in second. She's.
Do you know why? Because he came in there talking about Tottenham before you arrived.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was giving all that.
Exactly. Give me a day off, please.
And let's not forget, Carlos Sainz also came in as well. So it's also a massive error from Ferrari. He's now down to 11th. So Ferrari and Mercedes jumping the gun on the pit. The thing is
now that Alonso and Stroll are 3rd and 4th.
But looking
Aston Martin,
look also at McLaren. They're up to 9th and 10th. So
could score points.
Well, listen, I like McLaren. I love Lando Norris, and I would like them to start getting back into some points anytime soon.
That would be a good day for Piastri on home turf as well. Actually, if he can get a point.
Favourite, isn't it?
The thing that I find crazy here is that we're fans. We're not experts in any sense, but we're seeing there. Alex Albon's car half on the track, and we're saying, oh, quite possibly we're going to see a red flag here.
You can see
as
George
fans.
is annoyed here.
Yeah, and I don't blame him.
He looks
and they're bringing
angry.
their cars in.
He's got every right to be absolutely furious with that decision. You know,
he's fuming.
And to be fair, it's all going to be down to Hamilton to try and defend that from Lewis.
It's not like the car was on the side of the road. It was still on track in a high-speed corner as well.
Very high-speed corner, and there's debris everywhere.
Yeah, and now a tractor's coming out as well. Obviously, they weren't to know, but someone was going to have to come take that car.
You think go right? Okay, we know minimum. Yeah. If it is a safety car, 5 laps under the safety car. We've got time. Yeah. If we're going to do our pits, why are you jumping in on the second lap? This is what
happens when you haven't been at the front of the grid for a while. Maybe a little bit of.
And really,
because I feel like Mercedes in their prime would have got that right. But,
mate.
But now they're a little bit rusty. They haven't been at the front of the grid. They're a little
Ferrari and Mercedes is terrible.
Bit of a panic.
Yeah.
Bit of a panic there.
George Russell is fuming.
You can see he's fuming. He's absolutely
and Toto's
fuming.
Is that Toto having a word with him, trying to calm him down?
Look at him. He's trying to keep his cool. He
looks like he wants to cry.
Yo, he looks like he wants to beat him up.
There, but
no, he's not laughing.
No, he's not.
There's tears in his eyes.
That's the face I make now when we lose. Trust me, it's not laughter. It's pure pain.
Yeah, laugh at my pain.
Yeah, it's pure.
I can't. I mean, this is why we love the sport, though, isn't it? This is what we love about it: the drama, the making the decisions. It's so much less about.
You know when people say that they find F1 boring?
Morons.
I don't get it.
No.
I'm like, there's so much drama.
They don't get it.
Every race there's drama.
You got to get it. That's why. If you don't get it,
you got to get it.
Yep.
You got to get it.
If you don't get it,
I can't. I literally can't. I just can't.
The start of this race has been ridiculous, hasn't it?
Sainz
How
and
much more
George
could we ask for?
Mate, how many laps are we in? I don't even feel like
I feel like we've watched the whole race. I feel like we've watched the whole race.
Oh, mate.
We've had everything.
Yeah, I mean, I feel really, really bad for George Russell.
I don't think we've even opened the DRS yet, actually, because I think we've had a safety car.
No, because otherwise,
so we've
Verstappen definitely would have.
Just looking at that spin again, that is.
It's the debris that comes off it as well.
That car right there.
Do you know what?
That little swerve.
Who's that car?
Whoever it is, he did so well to do
that. Was Ocon or Gazzy. It looked like an Alpine.
His reflexes.
Oh my God, Hulkenberg was the first car to dodge it.
His reflexes, because if he could.
I'm telling you, if that was
nasty.
Oh yeah.
If that was a less experienced driver,
I think they should have readied that straight away.
Yeah,
to be completely honest.
I think that's quite bad that they didn't.
Yeah. If the car's on the track and they're going 140 miles an hour,
just read it.
Yeah.
It's just like driving around a pothole, you know what I mean?
To be fair, them potholes do damage. They really, really do. Anyway, it is a red flag. The race is stopped for the time being. So let's have a look at what you guys are saying on the chat. Big up to all of you that is awake and in this chat as well. Tiz says lateness is greatness. It is not greatness. Absolutely not. Atul says Ferrari aren't Spurs because Ferrari have actually won major trophies. Spurs were like Alpine. Why am I reading this? Spurs are like Alpine, mid-table, bottle jobs, big money that always feels like, I don't know where you get I don't know where you get the big money from. There's literally no big money.
I like this has just sort of become Abby and Spurs slander.
I think that's quite accurate. Big money spent.
You don't spend big money.
£200 million for the, Conte spent.
I
can see the Alpine
managers.
The Alpine comparison. What Chelsea then?
I said more like McLaren.
Chelsea are more Ferrari. Where, expectations are high, spent a lot of money,
I'd say Chelsea are more like Mercedes, just having a poor season.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
No, actually, no, you know what?
Ferrari was a longer period of
dominance.
If you're comparing Chelsea to a team, I think it would be...
It's got to be Mercedes.
It's got to be Aston Martin.
No, Aston Martin haven't won anything, Robbie.
No, it's not so much the winning, it's the fact that they buy it all, isn't it? The Stroll. You know, I mean, the large Stroll.
Big Daddy Stroll, yeah. You're still giving Stroll heat. He's in 4th.
He hates
No, but you know, like Stroll's dad's able to buy everything, you know what I mean? That's Todd Bowley. You know what I mean?
Stroll is in 4th place right now.
Yeah, big up to Stroll still.
Stroll's in 4th.
What I'm saying, you know what I mean? You tell me, you know what I mean? That's Todd Bowley.
And Stroll's had a tough time because his wrist has been sprained as well. Yeah. And he's been getting some decent positions, Robbie.
It must be tough being the son of a billionaire.
He wouldn't be in the drive.
It's not easy, the pressure, the stress.
He wouldn't be in that car if it weren't for his dad, would he?
Yeah, 100%.
Let's be real.
He literally bought a team so his son could race.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's Todd Bowley. This is Chelsea.
True. Don't forget to smash the like button, guys, please. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Zaraf said, would love to see Mercedes win today. Declan says, this time last year, Robbie was falling asleep during WrestleMania. He looks ready for this He looks ready for this race. Is that a whole year ago?
Is that a year ago? But you know what? This is more entertaining than WrestleMania.
G-Max says, Australia is one of those races that never tends to pan out like people expect. Well, yeah, I mean, we couldn't have
This is why it should be first on the calendar. I've been fighting this for a long time, haven't I?
Well, it used to be, innit? But
yeah, it used to be.
The money that comes in from Bahrain now.
Yeah.
I mean, they even do all the testing now.
Yeah.
Remember that used to be done in Spain.
Yeah.
So.
But the next race as well is not till the 30th of April in Azerbaijan in Baku, so big break. So
yeah, and a lot of teams saying they've got some big upgrades coming with that sort of month-long break.
Yeah.
I'm so fed up with seeing Charles Leclerc hop out of the car. I'm twice out of 3 races.
That meme of him like leaning up against the wall, just depressed, is really going to do sad. It's going to circulate again today on F1 Twitter.
Well, again, I mean, what can you really blame for that incident? That's just
he's just really unlucky start to the season.
That's not something you can put down to strategy.
The only thing really
Sainz you can put down to strategy.
Yeah, I think the only thing you can blame for Leclerc is he should have qualified higher up the grid. He shouldn't be 7th. He shouldn't be in that first corner battle. He should be looking to overtake and go into first place. He shouldn't be down back that far. So he's got nothing really there to blame, unfortunately, except his qualifying performance.
It's starting to get back in the car.
Yeah, drivers are getting back in the car.
Did you see the double interview from Alonso and Sainz, kind of speaking on Mercedes secret speed in their car, and how they've let on that it's a lot more difficult, you know, with the car than it actually is.
Yeah, they were laughing about it actually, weren't they? Yeah.
Well, we were talking about at the beginning of the show, weren't we, that after yesterday's qualifying, I mean, neither of them knew how they managed to get so much out of the car. From a Mercedes' point of view, but that's the thing. It's quite difficult to replicate what they did yesterday if you don't actually know how you did it in the first place.
Yeah, it's true. Right now, I think I'll be interested to see how quickly Russell comes through the field in the position now that they've put him in on strategy.
I can't wait to see this restart.
Because we've got some quick cars now.
Can Lewis do it? Can he hold off Max?
Perez down in 14th. I'm expecting him to move up the pecking order. Sainz in 11th, Russell in 7th, behind Hulkenberg. Gasly's in 5th. Not spoken about enough. Gasly in 5th in the Alpine.
And I got him in my fantasy, so
also,
I'm buzzing.
Can you give some respect to Hulkenberg in 6th?
I always give respect to Hulkenberg. Every time.
Where's K-Mag?
K-Mag is dwindling in 16th. 18th. Jesus.
All right, that's my guy.
Oh, God.
Wow.
He must have pitted under the safety for hard.
Everyone wishing you a very happy birthday.
Thanks, guys.
As well. BHav says, what a birthday present from Chelsea.
Mercedes is going to make up for it. If Lewis wins this race, what happened yesterday is null and void as far as I'm concerned. I'll forget about it in a hurry.
JJSW6 said, this is my first F1 race. Welcome to Formula 1.
Nice.
Good race to start on.
Yeah, really good race to start on.
Yeah.
Couldn't get much better, to be honest.
Do you know what? The first 2 races have been strong, but not had the
drama.
Correct. That's the exact right word. They haven't had the drama and the politics that this has already had in 9 laps. It's great. This is why we love the sport.
Tenditum says he's always on all of our streams. Tenditum says, feels odd watching you guys at 6 a.m. It's only 1 p.m. here where I am. I don't actually know where you are, but let us know.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. So that's 7 hours.
I think
ahead.
I want to say you're in I think he's in the Philippines, but I could be wrong. Let us know where you are. He's always on all of our streams across all channels. McLean said, what a start for Mercedes.
Can they hold off Max though? That's
Buffalo said, is it worth putting the hards on already? Risky strategy, doing 1 stop though, says Kazi. Rodder says Hamilton to win. Yeah.
Tsunoda in the points, by the way.
Yeah, we never. Let's talk about Tsunoda, shall we?
Please, Tsunoda.
God,
Oh man, he
Still.
deserves some points.
The races I've been watching
really
this season,
does.
Tsunoda just slightly missing out on top 10 each and every time.
He's looking a bit calmer this season, don't you think?
He did have a little bit of a sweary swear
Yeah.
on the team
car.
radio.
I meant in the car, though.
Yeah,
Like in terms of
Is
driving.
that smoke off that
I think
car?
there's a bit of maturity coming from him because now
like
he's
that.
lead
but
driver,
is that
isn't it?
just
With
the-
De Vries stepping
we've
up
not
from.
seen it on
Is that
Russell
just
as a
the air
rookie,
that
so-
they pump into it though?
He's
Could be.
expected to bring the
Just
points
to
a
cool
little
it
bit,
down.
same as Albon in the Williams. I think Albon and Tsunoda have kind of taken on that responsibility of being lead driver in their teams, trying
Yeah.
to secure those points with the rookies coming through.
Well, that was the thing. He needed to step up, didn't he, for
Yeah.
Yuki Tsunoda for the AlphaTauri.
Yeah. Norris versus Piastri as well, 9th and 10th. I'm looking forward to that battle.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
was,
as I said, this is actually quite a good day out so far. I mean, it's been 9 laps, but it's quite a good day out so far for McLaren. They've been dreadful this season. They really have been.
Oh yeah,
I
awful.
don't really know what they can do. Are they going to get an upgrade? Because I think they might need one.
Yeah, they've said that for them there's a new package coming for Baku. But look, as it stands, they're in both cars in the
Double
points. If they could get a double pointer today, that would be amazing for them. I mean,
I don't see it
we'll
happening.
see because there's a few cars
There's some
behind.
quick cars behind them.
In obviously,
I think if they can
particularly
get one in
Perez,
there, I'll be
and Sainz, but
shocked.
we'll see. 49 laps of
The
racing.
thing for
so-
me, right, is Hamilton going to be able to hold off
Not a chance.
Verstappen?
Hey,
That's going to be interesting.
vibes.
It wouldn't surprise me. We see another crash.
Yeah, I was going to ask the question: are we going to get the full
I'll be
full
very,
race?
very surprised.
interesting.
I'll be very surprised if he doesn't overtake. And
Little-
doesn't,
little-
and
little
doesn't
sneaky-
doesn't get in front. Little cheeky
Little cheeky
maneuver
little
as soon-
engine failure.
As soon as this restarts, I'll be very surprised if Max doesn't go for it.
Well, it's essentially it's a front row start again for them.
Yeah.
It's a standing start from a red flag.
He's not going to get done twice, in my opinion.
I need a little cheeky engine failure.
Can you?
For who? Verstappen.
Yeah, cheeky little engine failure.
I want to see him fight, man.
Smoke coming out the back of the car. I'm more than happy to see a fight between Hamilton and Alonso.
See here again, Albon. He
More
just
than happy.
loses it, doesn't he?
Lost
He's just
control.
too quick into that corner.
Yeah,
ouch,
loses it completely.
ouch.
And he's a very lucky boy.
Can you imagine a good fight between Hamilton and Alonso up front? Just like
Look at
old,
this
just like
again,
old
that's
times.
mad.
Brilliant.
And this is Hulkenberg who just.
Wow.
Hulkenberg is the second car.
I think he deserves driver of the day just for that maneuver
Yeah.
right there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm willing to give it to him.
That was
God.
great.
You don't realise how bad that could have ended up, man. Like that could
It
have
was
been
so quick.
bad.
Yeah, this is the guy that zips around the outside of it.
His reflexes,
Nico
trust me, are
Hulkenberg,
unreal.
yeah. Brilliant.
Oh my God,
That
he's
is
so
absolute-
close
You know
to
what?
it.
If he
Driver
doesn't
of the
like,
day.
Oh my God, he is so close to that car.
because he could have easily gone into the wall himself
Yeah.
on the other side if he didn't.
I'd be like, if that was one of us after that, after getting past that car, we'd be like,
Yeah, literally.
you have to pull over.
And they're going
Pulled
100,
over.
140 miles an hour.
You
like,
just saw your life.
Oh God.
His life could have been ended there. Both of their lives could have been ended
That is
there.
that was the angle that shows he's probably not more than about 2-3 feet wide of missing that car.
Yeah. Well,
Oh my
Nico
God.
Hulkenberg is back. I definitely think he should get driver of the day for that move alone.
Yeah.
Alpine, we spoke a lot about them in terms of pre-season with this all French lineup. They looked like they had a really great car. Have you been impressed with what you've seen from Alpine so far in the first 3 races? Unbothered?
Yeah, I thought they'd be a bit better, but I think because Aston Martin are so they're not a midfield team anymore. But if we're classing them still as a midfield team, they're obviously the top of that. So Alpine are just kind of there, not doing a terrible
Have
job.
they
and
kind
not
of
doing a
taken
great
over
job.
McLaren in that sense?
Who Alpine? Do
Yeah.
you think it looks as though, and we've got essentially 4 top teams rather than 3 in theory. Yeah, 2 good drivers. No drama between them yet. We thought there were going to be some French drama, but
Maybe
no,
because they
seen
haven't
that.
really been properly challenging for
Yeah.
anything really
Yeah,
yet.
no, you're right. But yeah, as you said, Matisse, Gasly looking good.
Yeah.
Over to production. Got some news from the pit.
Okay, so we're getting ready to go back racing. Everybody seems good to go. We stand a standing start as per usual. But just as you mentioned Tsunoda a couple of minutes ago, a very interesting fact about Tsunoda. He's currently 8 at the moment, and in the occurrence that he finishes 11th again, he'll actually set a record for the most consecutive times of finishing one place outside the points.
Oh,
Nice.
That's a good stat.
Oh my god.
I don't know if he'll like it.
No, well, he would be well within his rights to have a good cry if that happened.
Yeah.
11,
No wonder
3
he's so
races in a-
angry.
Oh,
What team's that?
AlphaTauri.
Right,
Right,
yeah.
and maybe that should be Tottenham.
Do you know what?
Lining up them digs. Who
It's
do you even
literally
play
not, it's not
next?
even 7 o'clock.
It's too early for this, isn't it?
6:30 in the morning.
6:30 in the morning, I've literally been hounded for the last hour and a half by Spurs when I'm doing an F1 stream. Most unnecessary thing ever. But don't worry, because
Violent.
I'll see you tomorrow morning. Don't worry about you, but I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And we still won't have played, so I'll still be in a good mood.
Yeah, you play Everton, isn't it?
Yeah,
On
tomorrow
Monday
night.
night.
Tomorrow night.
Damn. Football is a humble life.
Yeah, we don't talk about football anymore. It's all about F1 these days. Let's have a look back in the chat and see what you guys are saying.
Let's see.
Jonathan Norton backing 8-time world champion Hamilton. G-Max's prediction, drama at turn 1. Australia is one race where pole position almost always does not translate into a straightforward win. I think he did send that actually before the race even started, so you are correct.
Can I ask as well?
Go on.
Will a rookie finish in the top 10 today? We've got Piastri versus De Vries. I'm going to leave Sargent out of this.
Sergeant down as 17th, unlikely.
Yeah.
Back racing.
I'm going to go with no.
I think it's unlikely. Yeah, I have to be honest.
So it would be the first time this season as well. If
Piastri's in a good position, but he does have, it's the difficulty of having Perez and Sainz behind him. I think it's even less likely about De Vries, but we'll see.
So
Right, they're back now. Back.
everybody apart from De Vries and Sargent are on hard tyres. They've stayed on medium. But we are back underway.
It's not quite underway yet.
No, it's the formation lap.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
I always like this when they get started again because the person who's sort of leading, which is Hamilton, you can sort of slow it right down
Yeah.
and then speed it right up. That's what he's doing now, isn't it?
you've got to get this absolutely.
So we're going to do a
spot on.
standing start from a
Oh,
race
is it a
flag.
standing
Yeah, so
start?
it's basically like the race
Oh,
starts
okay.
again.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not
I think
not like
because
the safety
because
car
of the
when
red
they
because of the red flag. Yeah.
Okay.
So which I think, and I actually think that that's going to benefit Verstappen.
That's
will,
yeah, it
yeah,
will.
yeah.
It will.
Absolutely.
It will.
What's going on here? Why are they slow? Oh, interesting.
What is this?
There's going to be some trouble there.
What's happened here?
It looks like so. Oh my
Oh
god!
my God,
In the
what is going
formation
on?
lap,
In the formation lap,
What
they've
is
managed
going
to
on
get-
in
What
this
is
race?
going on?
Joe Guan Yu has slowly gone past forecast. What?
Did he not realise it was a formation lap?
Oh my god!
He,
Can you
he thought it was a
imagine?
safety car, and he was like, "Well, we're going racing again, aren't we?"
Kevin Magnussen just went through.
Right, let's just have another look at that because.
Who's going to get a penalty? For
Well,
that?
he's going to go backwards, but we'll see. But they are still going to go for the standing
I'm
start.
so confused as to what we just watched there.
It's like playing the F1 game and just someone just doesn't know the rules.
Yeah.
When you take off illegal overtakes, you just plough through everyone.
Just cutting corners, going through the gravel. Not
Right,
interested.
come on, Lewis.
Okay,
Come on,
we're not
Lewis.
entirely sure what just happened there. Maybe
Come
we'll
on,
get
Lewis.
We'll get some updates.
You've been to
from
F1
production.
arcade as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I loved
When you
F1
play on them
arcade.
simulators,
I'm
they don't
so
deduct
proud,
you
but
any
can't
points
tell
for
you how bad I
any
am.
over. Yeah, same.
We should do.
I
We
was
should do
shocking.
a
Here we
a
go,
night
lights
there.
out.
It should be really
100%.
fun.
I was shocking.
And
Please.
All right,
away
come
we
on,
go
Max.
again.
Come on.
Let's
Yes,
go.
Hamilton,
Come on,
great
Lewis.
start.
Great start for Lewis. He's going to get done by Alonso. Go on, Alonso's going to do it.
Alonso, go on. Take her out. Take
Come
out
on,
Max.
Max.
Go on.
Concentrate.
Oh,
just too
Nice,
quick.
Max.
all right, I'm happy with that.
Time
Go on,
on.
Alonso.
We're going to see contact in the back.
Alonso, move. Go on, Alonso.
worry.
Stay with Max.
Max
Max
Stay
has
with
done
Right
so
there.
well there.
Yes.
Haas moving forward
Come
as
on,
well.
Max.
Stay with Max. Go on, Alonso. Put pressure on
Max
him.
is not going to get
Max
done
is
again.
right up on him though.
Yeah.
No.
Max is going to do
Alonso's
this
right
well.
up on Max.
Take
That's what I
his
want to
time.
see.
Sarge, hey, what's
That's
going
just gone
on?
out there.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Alpha
Tsunoda.
Tauri.
That's Tsunoda
Is that
there.
Tsunoda?
Yep.
It could have been. It could have been De Vries actually.
One of the AlphaTauris anyway. There is contact
think
to the
it
back.
was
De
De
Vries.
Vries.
Where's Russell? Where's Russell?
Oh, I think Russell
Hold
might
on.
be one of those
Seventh
cars that had.
man. I mean,
Didn't he make up any ground at all?
doesn't look like it so far.
Right, we're back racing again. We're only
God,
laps in.
this is insane.
Absolutely mental. We're 10 laps.
I wonder if there's going to be any damage on that Alpha, because it bounced up in the air, didn't it?
Stroll's under pressure from.
Russell's done two places and got himself up to fifth, and
Well
Gasly's
done.
got himself
Brilliant.
to fourth. So where's Stroll? Stroll's had a horror show there.
Right,
Dropped down to
Perez has
sixth.
also dropped
Yeah.
down. Perez is also on
Damn,
16th.
you might be
He's
right.
dropped down
Daddy's
too.
money.
Told you, man, Chelsea.
So is everyone on the? Essentially, everyone's on the hard. So they're all going
Everyone
long.
is on the hards, bar Sargent and De Vries.
They're all going to go long when they just seen all these little stops.
We've stopped about 4 times.
Another yellow
anyway.
flag, another safety car coming. Yeah, change tyres.
Oscar Piastri's been done by Sainz. My boy Carlos, he's coming back for a podium.
He's 10th, brother.
He's in the points.
Yeah, Carlos in the points. Celebrating points.
I was expecting to see Carlos like in the top 7 or something. I'm looking down. I can't see
like,
him.
where is
He's
he?
down in 8th. He's down in 10th.
It's like when we look at Chelsea.
We're in 11th.
I know.
You know. You can't see us. You can't
And
see us.
Sainz has just done Norris.
Top of
Sainz
the
has just done
table,
Norris.
bottom
Thank you very much. That's a lovely move.
Top of the bottom half. Yeah,
Top of the
100%.
bottom half of the
It's
table.
fantastic.
2 positions
I
in.
can edit it and change
Here you go.
it.
This is
1, 2,
this is
3.
the start again.
I mean, we still don't know actually what happened in terms of Zhou Guanyu going flying past 4 cars. But
No. Yeah. That Perez got caught in traffic. He looked to go down the outside, and
Yeah.
that's how he's lost those 2 positions and ended up down in 16th.
It's not
He's
easy
having a
back there.
disaster.
Yeah, he really
Not a
is.
good weekend
Really
for
bad
Sergio
momentum.
Perez. is
Not
it?
good.
Red Bull in 16th. I mean, come on.
not good.
Really, really good race.
Keeps constructors in.
Well, it is Max versus Lewis currently. Like the good old days.
Just like old times.
This is the Nick De
Slip
Vries
it.
touch
Love it.
where that car bounces.
Oh,
There's
contact.
got to be some damage there.
Has to be.
The back of the car's up about 3 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see it again here from the back.
De Vries. Oh, just yeah.
Oh my
caught
god!
the,
And something flew off. Did
Yeah.
you see?
Yeah, there's got to be some damage there.
Is that Alpine okay?
I mean, they're not
Oh,
come in.
look, Max is on podium already.
Alonso's just set.
And where's Alonso?
Fastest lap.
Yeah, you need to step it up, Fernando.
P3. Right, come on, Max.
Come on,
we need to get some
Fernando,
DRS range.
Well, Matisse, we talked a little bit yesterday about the DRS. The worrying thing for Lewis here is that there's 4 DRS zones on this track, and when it does open, because they hold it for 3 laps after a race start or a safety car, is that the Red Bull's DRS gives them an extra 5 miles an hour
Yeah.
more than the next best car with DRS open.
is mad.
And so if Lewis has his DRS closed and Max has his DRS open, on a straight, he could get 20 miles an hour more on him.
That's why we need
And he's
another-
going to
he's
pass
done
him.
it.
Oh my
Max
days.
Verstappen
done it without
in the lead.
He's done
Good
it.
morning,
And he
people.
breezed past him. He absolutely breezed him.
Now it's a race.
It's exactly what you said, isn't it?
He didn't even. Oh no! Sorry, it was open the DRS, and there you go. But absolutely, as you say,
Absolutely
no problem. Bang.
breezed it.
See you later.
I had no doubt
Bye.
whatsoever that as soon as George Russell was out of the picture and it was just Hamilton
One-on-one.
up there,
Yeah,
one-on-one,
that's
Max
the big
gets
error
him
they've
all
made.
day long.
You were totally right, Abby.
Happy birthday, Matisse.
Why do we even bother?
The thing is, that fucking car they've made
Well,
is
unless they have-
unbelievable.
I think it's
Unless
cheat-
they
I
have
think
any
it's
type of
cheating.
technical faults, and he's just set the fastest lap
I
as
really
well.
Look how far ahead he is now.
We
as
need
well.
to investigate
he's gone.
Red Bull.
Oh, I love him so much.
They must have broken the cost cap or something again.
I just need Sergio to get himself in the points. Come
Russell's
on,
moving
Pepper.
up.
I mean, look at this move. I mean, just look how
I didn't even think
quick.
he was going to go for it here.
Yeah, sharp.
He
Look
just
how quick he is.
breezed him, man.
Look at
Breezed,
that. Lovely.
absolutely breezed past.
See you
It's
later.
like they're driving in F2 and F1.
Yeah.
It's like the speed difference is just insane of that car.
There's literally nothing Lewis can do.
No, nothing. Not a thing. Look at him. He's literally going about what,
He has
12
to-
miles an hour
He'd
quicker
have
than him
to
there?
duplicate his car to get
So
that
good.
one.
Like me on the A1 on the way home.
The other thing on this track, you've got the four DRS zones. If you overtake in the first 2 DRS zones, you can then continue to use your DRS even if you're not overtaking in the next 2 DRS zones. So that's how Max has been able to
Building up that.
stretch that gap to 2.5 seconds because he did it in the first couple of corners. He can use the DRS for the rest of that
And
lap.
here comes George, is that?
George Russell with the overtake.
I think we should ban Red
Nice
Bull from
from
DRS.
George.
Very
Up
good
to
from
4.
George.
I think George is going to end up second.
You think he'll do Hamilton?
It's Lewis
Yeah.
slander is unacceptable.
I still
It's
think.
not Lewis slander. I don't know. Just for me,
Russell-
in the last 18 months to
Russell's
2 years,
moving.
it's just for me. Russell has been the far more consistent driver.
He is moving up quick.
You guys watch Carlos Sainz finish 3rd. You watch.
Look how
Well, he's
far.
Wow, where's Verstappen?
He's gone.
Where's Verstappen gone?
The next time you
Verstappen
see
is
Max,
just
will
Slow
be-
down there, buddy.
the next time
Something
you
with
see Max, will be
Sergio
on the
Perez
podium.
here.
Where's he going?
Right, Perez, nice little move here.
Yeah, I mean it's very clean, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. But he's moving slowly. I mean, he's
Perez on Sargent seems a bit cruel, doesn't it?
well, he's got quite a few more to get through. But still, the McLarens are 11th and 10th. They're staying up there. Sonoda's 9th. Hulkenberg 8th, Sainz 7th. So he is moving up the table, Joe.
He is moving up the table. I mean, now he's going to get into the difficult cars because he's got Stroll, Gasly, Russell and Alonso if he wants to end on the podium. But
how have we only had 14 laps, by the way? I feel like we've been doing this for hours. It's mad.
Well, because the race started 43 minutes ago, so that, you know, we've just had so much stopping.
So much. Carlsy says, would you tell Russell to allow Hamilton through? I guess we could say vice versa now. Would you allow it?
I hate that. I like to just see drivers racing against each other.
Yeah.
I hate this allow people through thing. It happens all the time, we know, but I hate it. Whoever's doing the fastest.
Especially on this track, I think with DRS, you don't really need anyone to allow you through. Like, if you're quick enough, you're going to go past.
Yeah, it's difficult though because the teams want the constructors' points, the drivers want the drivers' points. So it's it must.
What do we watch it for?
Well, I mean, we watch it for the racing, correct?
We don't watch it for the constructor, do we?
But the teams don't. They do it for the money.
Well, I guess. So.
And that's Sainz just done.
Sainz.
Stroll.
Oh,
my boy, Sainz is having a masterclass.
Oh yeah, Stroll's got a lot to answer for. I can't lie.
Told you.
The straight line speed of the Ferrari is can be very good.
He's just dropped off Stroll.
That's really strong from Sainz, to be fair. And we know that the Ferrari is going to be quicker than the Alpine for sure, and he is going to be within DRS range as well. So,
Sainz is trying to bring home the bacon for everyone. I mean, to be fair, Leclerc.
If he gets on the podium, man,
he does kind of need to.
I'll go wild.
After what's going on with Leclerc, he needs to.
That's Perez we must be looking at on Magnussen. Magnussen's not going to fight that.
Breeze that.
Most of them aren't going to fight.
Perez, man.
And in all honesty, if Perez can get himself in the points.
I love doing that corner on the game as well. It's so quick. That corner there.
Yeah.
What is it, 9 and 10? To turn 9 and 10. Brilliant, I think.
Do you play it often?
No, I actually don't. Not at the moment. I'm going to get locked back
I find
in
it very
the summer.
difficult to do it with a controller.
Like, you need a steering wheel.
I need a steering wheel.
Yeah, I think it's better that way anyway.
I'm still pretty crap, but I'm better with it.
I think it's better that way anyway.
Touch there.
More realistic.
Buffalo says hard tyres will go the distance, hopefully without any punctures. Soft for speed for a few laps. Sumba says Albon's average, we move. Hamza says, wow, Russell was done so dirty there. Kazi, this is quintessential Mercedes. Everyone looking back at that. That pit during the safety car.
That's ruined their race as a team anyway, in terms of.
Hamilton won't get back up. I mean, again, unless we see another red flag or Hamilton's still in second, he can try and do him on the first corner. But it's just the speed of that Red Bull.
He needs Russell's help. Like you need 2v1. I said it in the preview of the season. If you're going to take down Verstappen, you need to have two cars.
Absolutely, and that's how they started the race so well. That they had that. They were defending from the get-go.
Yeah.
And they did so
even
well,
if you can have one ahead and one behind, at least you've got something to play with. But
I think once you let Verstappen get out in front, it's very, very difficult to. Unless he has his own strategic error or car failure, then it's very, very difficult to.
They're saying that Carlos Sainz is the quickest man on track at the minute, lapping 2/10 quicker than Max Verstappen.
Shame he's in sixth.
Yeah, that's because Verstappen's just probably just
chilling.
He's coasting. He's coasting now.
It down a bit.
Yeah, he's doing what Man City do when they're 5-0 up. He's just turn the engine down.
Just looking after it, innit?
Yeah, Sainz will get Gasly.
Yeah,
he definitely will, yeah.
Perez up to 13th. G-Max said Russell just completely got done by fate. Asthma Pump 47 says Lewis and George aren't teammates. They are just two drivers in the same team.
Interesting.
I agree with that.
There are no teammates in this thing. I mean, you know, I was saying it in the preview. If you got your teammate and your teammate keeps out qualifying you, you could be out of a job.
Yeah.
You know, so there are no teammates. Your job is to make sure you better what your teammate is doing at the very least. So you can't be too friendly with that guy, innit?
Yeah. True. You don't like Stroll at all, do you, Rob? By the sounds of what you were saying earlier.
Just I don't know. You know, it's just like they told you. It's very Chelsea, isn't it?
He didn't work his way up to the top. He just got.
He didn't just got that seat. He would not be in that car if it weren't for his dad.
Well, if you had the same opportunity, obviously you'd do it.
No, listen, big him up, right? Because you do it for your own
kids. I feel like
kids,
he wants to see Stroll in an AlphaTauri.
You would. You're right.
You would. You do it for your own kids.
Yeah.
But it's so blatant, though, isn't it? I mean,
he wants to see Stroll in an AlphaTauri and somebody else in that seat.
Yeah.
A quick Aston Martin.
Daddy, I want to drive in F1. Don't worry, I'll buy a team.
I'll just buy a team.
And Sainz has just done Russell. Oh no, Russell's in the pits. Sorry, Russell's
in the pits.
Okay. That makes
Russell's
more
gone into the
sense.
pits.
'Cause that
Sorry.
would have been ridiculous.
I was going to say,
otherwise.
what?
Or unless he's he's gone
Yeah,
into
he's
the
in the pits.
Oh, what's that?
Or he's
He's not in the
Oh
my
He's out the race.
God!
The car's on fire. The race.
God!
He's
Russell.
out the race.
Oh, George, what is
Oh, he's managed to take it off the road, so we're going to see another. Probably.
That's going to be another safety
Oh,
car.
get
The car's catching fire rapidly.
Bro, you should have parked it right
Toto,
so we could
yeah.
have got a
What I
red
love about
No
Toto.
sympathy for the driver, does
That's
he?
what I love
Virtual.
about Toto.
Virtual safety car. This is the sort of thing that
expression
could benefit
doesn't change.
Hamilton here.
He should have parked it in the middle of the road. So we got a red.
Is that the engine's
flag.
gone, isn't it?
No, you're not allowed.
Just park it sideways, block the road, red flag. They got to get another crane on.
So is that the engine gone?
That's
Yeah,
done. He's out.
There'll be some kind of engine failure,
Oh
won't
my
it?
days.
My car's on
Yeah,
fire.
he's had enough now. That's his Australian Grand Prix over.
What a nightmare for George
Wow.
Russell. We've done so
It
brilliantly.
started so well.
Can't believe it.
Horror day.
He's had a
for him.
nightmare of a day though, hasn't he?
Let's have a look here then.
It was all going so
Yeah,
swiftly.
you see, he just loses all the pace.
Look at that.
Absolutely loses the pace.
Jeez.
Oh, he's just getting destroyed.
Oh,
And then all
gone.
of a sudden,
Oh my
the
goodness.
flames
Something
start.
not. Oh, and there's the
Yeah,
smoke.
there you go, the engine's gone.
Yep. Wow.
Oh, do you know what? George Russell, man,
What
you've
have you
got to
seen a
feel bad
Mercedes
for him.
engine go?
You've got to feel bad for him. He was leading the Grand Prix.
He'd be absolutely
And he was
gutted.
going off down the road
one,
before the safety
two.
car. He was leaving everybody behind.
Oh man, I feel bad for
Gutted
him.
for
He was
him.
down the road,
Really gutted for George.
actually creating some sort of gap before the safety car. Then everybody bunched up, and that's where it started to go wrong for him.
This is why we love the sport.
This is it's brilliant, but this is a bad day for George.
George, man.
I love how Toto just never even looks like phased.
No,
He's seen it all, hasn't he?
He just has the exact same expression every single time.
yeah, no, it's not a happy car, is it?
That is not good.
G Max said the Red Bull's Achilles might be their reliability. Well, it's looking the most reliable still. So far.
we honestly pray. It's one of my wishes on that.
Bad day at the office for George, man. That's my predictions out the window.
Razimo says this is some BS. Max is going to win now. Might as well go back to sleep.
I actually had. Do you know what's so
Virtual
funny?
safety car now, though.
Guess what I had as a top 3 in my prediction?
There's like 30 laps to go.
Guess what I had a top 3 in my prediction? Verstappen,
30.
Hamilton, and Alonso. as
40
my top
laps to
3.
Oh,
That's a prediction.
You had what did you have?
That is the current top 3.
Well, no.
Verstappen, Hamilton, Alonso.
Yeah.
Now you watch Carlos Sainz, mate, come from 5th to 3rd. My prediction's going to
that
come
was my
true.
top 3,
Green
that's
flag,
what
we're
we've
back,
got.
we're
Green
racing.
flag, we're back. Max is off again.
Hey, that was a bit quick now. We
Do you
didn't even
reckon
bunch
Max
up.
ever, like, looks around and says, like, where is everyone? Like,
Yeah.
Do you think he ever looks around and thinks, where is my, like, legal world title?
yeah. Perez up to 12. Pyramid says Ferrari are definitely Manchester United.
Yes, fine by me. That's not a good thing, but
I was like, why are you cheering that?
Parvin says Russell is in tears. JQ says, Matisse, what you saying, bro? Are you good?
I'm great, honestly. I mean, Hamilton's still P2, so life is still good. If he gets podium today and he's in P2, it's better than anything I could have hoped for at the start
if
of the weekend.
Mercedes can get one car on the podium,
Yeah.
that's a very good day at the office.
Yeah.
Very sad for George Russell, but the focus has to be positive and on
100%.
Hamilton now.
We will be there no matter what.
Alonso is within DRS on the Mercedes.
And Lewis was just complaining how, saying how quick Alonso is.
That is the sub Mercedes team
Yeah,
now.
that's
I'm not
the-
trying to
yeah.
see no silliness here. Remember when we spoke about that before, about, the sub teams in the...
Looks like Alonso could end up passing him as well.
The next few laps will be vital for Hamilton
Yeah.
to keep him outside of the 1
Turn
second.
that engine down, Fernando.
Well, I mean, they predicted rain today and it looks like a beautiful day in Australia.
It does.
Really beautiful day.
Top 3, how many world championships have they got between them?
I
Lewis
think they
7,
said-
Verstappen 2, Alonso 2. So someone do the maths. 11.
Yeah.
A
Wow.
lot.
And Pierre Gasly as well in 4th.
How many
Really
world
good
championships does he have?
But
He
really good
did
day.
win one race, didn't he? But it's not quite a championship.
Brilliant day for
I thought he was
Albon.
about to make a point of
Yeah, don't forget, without
Gasly.
Well, if you have a look at that Alpine, you've
Oh.
got Gasly in 4th and you've got Ocon in 11th, and that's pretty good from from Gasly.
Yeah, you got to imagine Ocon will do a job on Piastri and get up into the points, and Tsunoda as well. The car is better. Sainz is in DRS of Gasly, so Sainz really is going to be pushing on Alonso if he can get past this.
As he should.
This Alpine. Well, and then it's a battle me versus you, Matisse, for the prediction.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? It's true.
Things are going to get hot in here.
Hopefully it gets hot in the back of Max Verstappen's
Well,
car.
why would you shout at someone? That's so rude.
It took a couple of races for me to develop my real
so
Red
Your
Bull.
alter ego's coming out. Yeah.
Now that she's sitting next to me with her Red Bull jacket, it's really started to.
Maybe you should touch it and get some luck.
No, I'm alright.
Oh,
Feel
there
what
we
it
go.
feels to be winning team.
Get away from me.
I can say that in this sport. I'm going to milk it in this sport as well. Pyramid says, Baku is my favourite track. Castle section. Turns 15, 18 and 19 are absolutely epic.
Oh, Baku. Perez moving up the grid as well. Knock-on.
Perez is brave, you know.
Again,
he's really
no
not
one's-
He's
messing
a great
around.
driver.
No one's
I love
fighting him.
Checo.
He's not
Checo.
messing around at all on these.
Listen, he watched Max do an unbelievable comeback last time out. 15th up to P2. So if he can be essentially back at the grid and then
He does want to get
finish,
a lead on, doesn't he?
Norris is having a good race.
Quietly.
8th.
Quietly. But Checo's definitely taking these two.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely taken Piastri, he's definitely taken
Oh
Tsunoda.
my god, look at this. Yeah,
Ocon's having a great race.
he's gone.
He really is.
Yeah. Oh, he hasn't got him there. Fair enough.
You will get him.
McLaren's defended all right there.
We are-
Lots of overtaking points for Perez today.
Yeah,
No
lap
doubt about it.
22 out of 58. G-Max says, Australia is always messy. Russell was leading, so had dibs on strategy. He was just totally unlucky. People need to not whine. Who takes first place in our poll? 62% said Max, 19% said George, Alonso with 12%, Leclerc with 5%. Well, of course,
Oh,
two
God.
of those are out. There was an old poll.
Yeah. Leclerc's out
Where
first
was Lewis?
corner.
Was Lewis not an option there?
Lewis was not an option.
Wow. See, look, now the production are running agenda as well.
Asthma says, says congrats on turning 45, Matisse.
45.
That's so rude.
I said I'm getting old, but you don't need to take it that far. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's what being a Chelsea fan does to you. It ages you up a bit, mate.
It really does. It does. The Carabao Cup will do a lot for Man United, won't it?
We've got to see. I mean, Sainz desperately needs to get past Gasly in the next couple of laps. He really does. To have a chance of closing the gap onto Alonso and looking at a podium.
Oh, Perez on.
Sergio Perez is just absolutely flying through
He
the
loves
grid.
that. He loves those corners, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's not passed any cars that are going to fight him at the minute.
No.
Might
Might be a blue flag.
Yeah. Well, rightly so. Piastri's not going to hold up Perez, is he?
No.
Here we see the Ferrari on the Alpine.
I've had a request to cook you in Chelsea on our show tomorrow morning.
Did you need a request? You were going to do it anyway, weren't
Exactly.
you?
JQ, don't worry, I'll take the request, but it was coming anyway.
It was happening anyway. To be fair, I don't think
Tune
there's
in
anything
at
to
12.
cook. There's no food. There's nothing to cook.
There's always stuff to cook.
Don't worry, we'll find
We'll find something to cook.
Are you in tomorrow?
I'll be there.
We're all in tomorrow. And even Alex.
You're not busy,
Rob.
Robbie. You're not.
No, man.
Who was
I
the
love
admin on
Mondays.
AFTV in my live chat as well yesterday? That's what I want to know.
Kenya. It was Kenya, and I was feeding her some stuff.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh, God. JT said Hamilton showing he's got better movement than Timo Werner. Kazi said,
These puns.
I know they want to light a fire up Russell's bum, but I didn't think they meant literally.
Joke of the day, whoever that is,
That was
gets a
good,
like
yeah.
from me. That
Joke of the day, and it's not even 7 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
that DRS is open, wide open for
Sainz.
Carlos
Sainz.
Sainz. Not going to get it this
quite
corner,
get there on
that one.
but then we
Thought
know
about
there's another 3 on every lap. So
Perez is up to 9th now, by the way. He's got past Piastri and Tsunoda. He's got Norris, Hulkenberg
he's
in
5
his way
seconds off
next.
us there. Oh, that's close from Sainz.
Is that
He is-
lock up? No. No.
I'm unsure. I didn't see any smoke. It could have
I
been.
think he might be all right with that.
Backed
one,
off ever so slightly. I mean,
That wasn't really an overtaking corner, was it? Though for him,
No, I
kind of
thought-
just
I think that was him sussing out what was going on.
yeah.
be interesting to see because Gasly's really doing a great job, to be fair, because the Alpine is nowhere near as quick as the Ferrari, so he's driving really well.
The Alpine
Fair
was not
play.
easy to pass last season. I remember the Mercs getting stuck behind the Alpines a couple of times as
Well,
well.
Alonso doing
Yeah,
doing
Alonso
it, yeah.
was really good defensively in that Alpine, so it might actually be a tough one for Sainz, that one.
Parvin says Mercedes are turning into Ferrari. Jonathan says, can't believe I finally agree with Matisse supporting Hamilton and Mercedes.
Yep.
Arslan says F1 is an awful sport. Nothing to see. Won't ever see a season like 2010 or 2012.
Glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, glad you're enjoying the stream, guys. Jake said it should be Matisse versus Abbi in F1 challenges. We should actually.
Yeah, the F1 arcade. That would be hilarious.
Here we go. Here comes Carlos.
Simba says McLaren
Here comes
top to
Carlos.
bottom is a mess. Ron Dennis held so much of the ethos rights from an organisational to image outlook. They don't even own the Mercedes brand. Dead team, dead brand.
Damn.
And Kratos says, put some respect on Checo's name. He's got all of my respect.
That looks like Carlos has just done that
Sainz.
move on Gasly, and now he's going to be about 2.5 seconds behind Alonso.
Wow. Good move.
Ferrari podium.
That was a great
Sainz.
overtake from Sainz.
Ferrari
Given
podium.
him a decent amount of stick so far this season, but he's stepping up.
What he's done, what he's done, to be
Bided
fair,
his time there.
in about 12 laps, is taken himself from 11th to 4th.
Oh, that was nice.
It's clean. He doesn't push him off.
Clean.
Yeah,
It was very aggressive, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he looks like he goes one way.
Yeah.
And then slips
Bang,
on his.
bang,
That's
bang.
driving from Carlos, man. Come on.
I think that's what we've kind of been seeing the last few moments of him, where we've seen him try and see what's the best way to do it. And we thought, is he overtaking? Is he not? It's all about the strategy.
Yeah, he's done. That's you know what? Fair play, because that's a drive. That's
Really
a drive.
Clever.
And he got absolutely same as Russell, stunk by his team.
It was going to take something like that to get past Gasly as well.
Yeah, Gasly's not an idiot. He's not,
No, he was fed up being behind him.
Yeah.
Production, what's going on?
Okay, so earlier in the race we've seen Alonso closing up on Hamilton. Looked like he was going to challenge him for second. He's dropped off a little bit, and that's because he's been talking with the team on the radio, and he said, let's play the long game. Hamilton is struggling with his tyres, and Alonso's going to try and play this out and see where he can get.
Interesting. Again,
Love it.
just like you were saying, it's all about the
Mind
strategy.
games and
We told him,
strategy.
turn the engine down. He got the message.
Just stay back, stay out of that dirty air.
Yeah, just stay within reach,
then
and when it
later
gets to
on in
that
the race
fine
now, bang.
push.
Yeah.
We're 26 laps into
Get that second
58.
place.
Perez still up to 9th. He's got Norris ahead of him. Hulkenberg, that's the ones he'll be eyeing up next. Bottas hasn't really improved, has he? I mean, he started on the pit lane as well, back of the grid, and he is bottom of the table.
Well, as soon as I saw that dodgy haircut, I told you, didn't he? Bottas has
You
got
went into the mullet.
Is it the mullet and the
that
tash?
mullet and tash. He ain't gonna do nothing.
It's very, very 70s.
He said
80s,
that
I love
Mercedes would never allow him to do that, and now we know why.
Yeah.
It's all about
No one should
performance.
ever be allowed to do
Don't have
that.
time for nonsense. Don't have time for foolishness. That's a great overtake. Is that who's that in the Alpine there?
Oh, was that Ocon?
Ocon on Piastri.
Yeah. Tough for Piastri at home. He really can't see a way that he's going to get on the points.
Have you been impressed with Piastri? Because there was a lot of talk about Piastri. Of course, all the stuff that happened with the switch.
I feel like it's hard to judge him because the car's so poor.
rubbish.
I would say the same. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
He's gone to McLaren instead of Alpine.
He was unbelievable in F2. There's a reason that he was such a hot commodity because in F2 he was unbelievable, winning races, winning championships. But yeah, so far he hasn't had the chance to demonstrate. But is that what being rookie's about? You've got to find ways to demonstrate.
Yeah.
It's only 3
George
laps
Russell
in. Well, exactly.
Remember George Russell was, he's at Williams.
Alpine is the
Coming
quicker
last
car
every
though,
week.
isn't it? And he's gone to McLaren in the end.
It's so. I mean,
Oh,
if you're
was
Oscar
that
Piastri,
Alpine?
you must be gutted because you've signed a massive contract in a massive team, thinking that you're going to score, a point or points every other race.
It was a very ballsy move as what he did as well. After the amount of money that they'd put into him. I mean, I remember from the documentary of watching Drive to Survive, I felt so bad for Otmar.
Oh man! Yeah, what did they say they'd invested
Won me
in him?
over. I thought it was
Like million,
couple million,
4 or
wasn't
5
it?
million,
Yeah.
or something like that.
into his career.
And then for at that point where you're going to get promoted.
And Ocon's in the points.
But
So
I
now
feel
you're
like
11th again.
I feel like Otmar kind of played himself though, didn't he? Because he tried to keep Alonso first of all, and then obviously Piastri must have seen that and said, "Okay, I'm not going to get a seat now. I'm going to go and make my own move." So he didn't really commit to anything.
Sometimes
but
it pays or sometimes it doesn't.
yeah.
And Sainz has cut the gap down by a second already to Alonso. He's about to be in the DRS.
Yeah.
Wow! The drama of it.
Okay, so Tsunoda, I think, drops down to 11th. Ocon up to 10th. Let's have another look at that, shall we?
The Alpine's going to be fighting each other at some point, I think, if Ocon Ocon keeps making moves.
Potentially so.
Let's see, where is he? He's...
Ocon's up to 10th. Gasly is in 5th.
It's a long way.
They are closing the gap. Sainz in 4th, holding on to that spot. Verstappen is so out ahead. We haven't seen Verstappen for about 15 minutes now, have we?
He's probably about 15 minutes ahead.
Yeah.
Once Verstappen gets that clean air and you've gone, that's it really, isn't it?
It's over for the whole race.
Yeah. It is.
The way he breezed past Hamilton was like ridiculous.
I actually was hoping it would go a couple more laps, so at least get a bit of fighting.
Like,
but
he literally just...
he was defenceless.
But I think they knew that. I think that's why they picked that strategy. That originally, if they would have had Russell and Hamilton and that, they kind of, again, like punish themselves with their strategy, because if they hadn't have brought Russell in at that time, they could have defended it for a while and who knows what would have happened. But strategy.
It was a strange one, really, in the end, because like you're bringing him in, cool, you think that you're going to gain an advantage with that pit stop, but you've lost track position. And it's not like as if you're going to get back ahead of that Red Bull really on track. From what we can see, that Red Bull straight line speed with all these DRS zones, they're just too quick. So I thought they would have just gone super defensive and tried to get to the end, but with both cars.
JQ says, Matisse, have you got your Haribos ready for the Big Six? Saeed will have a lot to say.
I think I'm going to go with a different sweet for that.
What are you going to
maybe
bring?
Go salty. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be a long day.
You are quite salty. Yash says Alonso to defeat Hamilton. Cassidy said, look at Abby thinking she can celebrate something in her life. Can't wait for Spurs to play.
That was vicious. That was violent.
Hold on, I wasn't. We didn't.
It's not over yet.
Can't wait for Spurs to play so we get the good old Abby back. And I said that this morning, didn't I? I was like, it's weird that I'm in such a chirpy mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're up for it.
And even Jason said to me last night, we have better shows when you're angry. He said, I prefer you when you're moody.
Don't worry, we'll soon fix
well, I won't be moody tomorrow because Tottenham don't play till tomorrow night. So, woo!
Are you watching the game?
Potentially.
Really?
If I can be bothered, yeah. Potentially. See how I feel? No, I will watch it.
Should go up to Goodison.
No, you couldn't pay me at the minute. You could not pay me to spend my time doing that. I don't even want to go at home at the moment.
When it's round the corner.
You.
Take a trip up to Goodison Park on a Monday night, mate. No. I've done it, mate.
I've done it before, but I'm not doing it.
I've done it, and I've lost up there, and it rained all the way up there, and rained all the way back, and I ended up getting COVID as well. Jesus. And we lost.
And you lost. That's a perfect day.
Yeah?
My goodness.
That's more of those for Arsenal, please.
That was horrible. That's why we need to win the league this season. All that pain.
Blue all Monster says McLaren reminds me a lot of Spurs. Totally underwhelming. Samba says, wow, the McLaren Spurs link is true. Honestly, guys, this is ridiculous.
I think you've got to go with a team that haven't won before.
This is just
more realistic, I think.
Like Williams. But actually, Williams used to win, to be fair.
Yeah, I think we need to go.
Yeah,
I know.
Used to win back in the day.
Yeah, we're actually quite similar to a Williams.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
A former
that's better.
top team.
Because McLaren is too recent.
Yeah, we'll go with the Williams. But can we please, enough with the slander.
Chelsea definitely Stroll.
Yeah.
Stroll has no world championships to his name.
Pervin says Red Bull crash, please. That is so... How awful.
Ooh, that's a bit horrible.
That's a bit nasty.
Engine failure. That's the way you
really
got to play,
nasty.
You got to say
I said I lived near that Red Bull factory, right?
Yeah.
And I see them walking every day, like the staff and that. So
was it you
to
that
say
tampered
for
with
them,
Checo's car then today?
you can't get near it like that. But to say for them to, I don't want to see them crash.
No.
But
engine
you
failure.
wouldn't want to see a little
lock-up
problem to their car that brings everybody back
into it. A little flat spot maybe.
Nah.
But you've got to credit them. They've come up with, yet again, they've got unbelievable engineers and they come up with the best car.
Yeah.
Year in,
That's
year
exactly
out.
it.
They absolutely have. Right, well, as it stands, Verstappen setting another fastest lap. Hamilton in second, Alonso third, Sainz fourth, Gasly fifth. That is your top five. Stroll is still there in sixth.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Still there. Hulkenberg having a really good race, seventh.
That's unspoken about, really. But
what would it take for Stroll to be ditched by his father, do you think, in terms of performance?
Him dying is the only way he doesn't drive.
Because obviously, you know, I guess the constructors' money.
Yeah. Thing is, I don't think he's bad enough to be dropped.
No.
I don't think he's good enough to win titles, but I don't think he's bad enough to warrant being dropped.
I think had they not have got Alonso, then there would have been questions, because I
Pressure.
think the
What
level
questions?
of elevation that Alonso...
It's his dad's.
I know, but I think the level of elevation that Alonso has given to Aston Martin, obviously also they've
100%.
had they've kind of had a bit of a Red Bull helping hand in terms of the mechanics of it. But I think the level of driver that Alonso has completely elevated that team is a level that they would not get if it was still Stroll.
But he would not be dropped because this is that, even if he was last on the grid,
Yeah.
right? He's still
not.
going to be...
He could still be reserve driver like Ricardo.
He will not be a reserve driver.
It's
because it'd be like Dad
interesting
on that
though,
bin.
because obviously Lawrence Stroll, billionaire, right, businessman, knows how to make money. Essentially, this is a business for him as well.
That's what I'm saying.
If having his son is losing him a lot of money, does he make that business
Well,
call? Is he a ruthless enough businessman to drop his son?
what's his previous team again?
Racing Point.
Yeah.
Oh, the team, yeah.
Who drove for him?
At Racing?
His son.
Uh,
I mean, so
Racing Point was only around for 1 year,
that
wasn't
comes
it?
with his
Weird.
son is got to be part of because he'll put the money into the team if his son's there.
Like I said, reserve driver.
Alonso looks
It
like
can
he's
happen.
starting to close in that gap on Hamilton now. He was 2 and he's pushing it down to 1 second. So
Has he turned the engine?
it's interesting whether we heard him talking, as you said, Bobby, about playing the long game, staying out the dirty air, and it looks like he's maybe having a little look, a sniff of whether he can get into him. And Sainz doing a little bit of the same.
I feel like we've
Alonso,
got an
not quite
overtake
the same.
coming. Perez has just set the fastest lap, by the way, in 9th. He needs to start moving up the table. I need to start seeing him get into that kind of P5, P6 area.
I didn't think I'd have rivalry with Fernando again, but it seems like our time has come.
It is, isn't it?
I've been cheering for him the whole time. This feels very much like maybe what Newcastle were about to do in real life. I've been cheering on Fernando. I've been happy for him.
Do you know how much money you've spent, Matisse?
What do
No
you
one
mean?
should be overtaking you. You should be winning things. We should be talking about you in the top 4. Look at the disgraceful
Hamilton's not
amount
the
of money
highest
you've
paid
spent.
driver on this grid. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about football.
Verstappen's
Do
the
you know how
highest
much
paid driver.
money you spent?
When he gets a legal world championship, you can talk to me. Okay.
Wow, he did have a legal world
Which one?
championship.
Which one was it? The cost cap one or the one where they cheated in Abu Dhabi? Which one? Which one's legal?
Listen, people got to eat, okay? People got to eat. That's not that much on catering. 400 grand. It was just a little bit.
Couple little extra jam sandwiches, yeah.
Yeah, people want extra pickle on their sandwiches. People want a bit of lettuce, avocado. Price of the cost of living. Avocados are expensive.
Could Alonso make his... He's putting a lot of pressure on Hamilton.
He's looking, isn't he? Well, Alonso's in quite an interesting position here because if he doesn't push on Hamilton, Sainz is going to push on him.
Yeah.
But if he pushes on Hamilton and doesn't get the job done, he'll have used a lot of tyre deg and he'll be in the dirty air and Sainz could do it. So it's in that I imagine he'll be on the radio having a think like, look, we need to make a decision here because we're going to get caught in no man's land and have no joy either way. So we're going to see, the next 10 laps could be really interesting between the sort of 2nd, 3rd and 4th. I can't imagine Gasly's going to come back. He isn't within the DRS of Sainz, but he has been since the overtake.
These hard tyres are pretty good, aren't they?
I mean, the degradation on this track is so light at the 58 laps. So it's on the hards particularly. So it's very, very interesting how well they're surviving.
Yeah, we are on lap 34. I'm interested to see. I think he's going to wait a little bit longer, Alonso.
You think he'll hold off? Yeah.
I think he'll hold off a little bit.
Sainz is closing him though, isn't he?
Well, Sainz about to be in the DRS. Yeah, I'm in probably 1 or 2 laps. He'll be within the DRS on Alonso,
really
and then
afford not to attack. Attack is the best.
yeah. How long is your long game? Long enough to drop back into 4th? Like that can't be your long game, can it? So really, really interesting.
That's for production, yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so a number of teams are actually talking across the board on team radio about making a second stop or an extra stop. And that mightn't seem like a good idea with 20 laps to go, but just remember back in the Hungarian Grand Prix in 2019, albeit in a better car, Hamilton actually made an extra stop, an unplanned stop to mediums, and actually made up the gap and took Verstappen for the race win at the end before the checkered flag. So a second stop or an extra stop for any of these teams at this moment with more than 20 laps to go might play out in the end if the other drivers are really struggling on the hards.
Yeah, I love it when teams do the fake, pretend like they're not going to do a pit stop. So all the pit crew are sitting there like that, and then suddenly they get the order, go, and they all run.
Yeah.
So the other teams don't know that they're going to come in and pit, and Mercedes were a masterclass at that in the past. So I wonder if we'll see any of that today.
I don't know, but can you really see Verstappen getting caught now?
No, I can't see Verstappen being
We
caught,
actually
no.
have not seen Verstappen since, I think, lap 14. They don't even pan to him.
I can't see Verstappen not losing this race unless it's mechanical. No.
Yeah, I cannot foresee that.
But I can see a very interesting fight between the Ferrari, the Aston Martin, and the Mercedes for 2, 3, 4 for which two teams are going to get themselves up into the podium.
Yeah.
Maybe
setting the
Perez,
fastest lap again.
but he's stuck behind. There's a 4-car gap between him and fourth, so I think it's a long way.
There is, but I don't know. I think he's going to finish around P5, P6.
Okay.
I've just felt it all day, and I think that if you think about where he came from, you'd be really happy with that return.
Oh yeah.
Really
Starting
happy
from the
with
pit
that.
lane, yeah.
Definitely.
And I think that's probably what he would have hoped for in the first place anyway, you know, after having started in the pit. Okay, let's have a look at some of you guys' chats.
Ocon's still in the top 10 as well.
Oh, Danny Rick.
Danny Ricardo.
Oh, miss you, mate.
God. He's
He's
just
an
living life.
icon.
Oh, what
He's
a guy.
an icon of this sport.
Did you guys also see Vettel's comments about potentially coming back as well? Well,
He's
at
only
least
just
he was
been-
kind of flirting with the idea. He was like, never say never. Might
Well,
come
it's
back.
interesting because if he was going to come back, I could see him coming back to the new team Audi 2026
Yeah.
to launch the team.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? German team, German driver,
Yeah.
4-time in a row
How old will he
world
be?
championship. I mean, he'll be around Alonso's age.
Yeah,
He's
true.
not. I think he's younger than Hamilton, or the same age as Hamilton.
You're saying Vettel,
So he's got the
Hulkenberg
years.
double, German team?
Don't you think that Danny Ricciardo is too good to be a third driver?
100%.
Didn't have a good season last year.
No, he
though, did
didn't, but I don't know.
Well, if he was going to go into F1 now, he'd be in one of the bottom teams.
Well, and they can't afford him.
Yeah.
It's his salary
His
demands that are too big.
wages,
So the
so-
likes of Williams can't afford Daniel
Let me
Ricciardo.
ask you a question. If you could drive an F1, if you were a Danny Ricciardo, surely you want to have, you already get so much money anyway, right? Surely you would just want to be driving the car rather than being a third driver that you're not doing anything and just picking up a paycheck.
Yeah, I agree with you, Abby. You know what I mean? Just a third driver. After what
How
the
rare.
amount of time you've been in the game, it's like...
But is it better for him to take a year out with all of this constant regression that he's had? Because he's been, for me, I think Daniel Ricciardo has been probably one of the most disappointing drivers over the last couple of years.
Well, I was going to say, right,
Yeah.
Daniel Ricciardo is always talked up as a great driver. But when has he ever done anything?
I'd say when he was at Renault, he was the most.
Yeah, when he was at Renault.
Yeah, he was the most competitive when he was at Renault.
He gets
Red
a
Bull.
lot of big up because
He
of his
disappointed.
character.
I think his character,
Yeah,
personality
but
points, but
on the actual, you know...
he disappoints me a lot more than he impresses
Yeah.
me. to be
I think
honest.
in the McLaren, I agree. I mean, he had a pretty. I mean, they did take a 1-2. Don't forget, McLaren did take a 1-2. So he did do generally fairly poor in the McLaren. But in his Red Bull days, the dude was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Remember when he dragged around a broken car and won the Monaco Grand Prix?
Yeah.
So unbelievable.
It was after Renault. It was after he made that move, wasn't
Bits
it?
and bobs.
But he's
It
had
was
so
after
many
that.
different little moves here, and like he's
Yeah.
never, the stability's not there. He keeps going from team to team all
Well,
the time.
it was the Renault thing that they kind of wanted to build everything around him, and he
Sacked it off.
he sacked it off and went to McLaren. And I think that even if you look back to McLaren last year, I mean, with Norris and him, they were far more competitive than they are this year. I know that's probably more to do with the car than anything, but
I think
I feel like his hunger might not be quite there.
Well, the hunger can't be there if you're happy to take a drive. You know what I mean?
think he
Just be a
needed-
third
I
driver.
think it's good he's taking a year off.
I think
because
he needs it. I think
Christian
he needs
Horner
it.
came out the other day and said, we've seen him, we've obviously he's been testing the car, it's what the third driver does and simulated stuff, and he said, it's like he's come back a different driver. He's picked up all these weird habits, so it's good that we're getting him back in a quick car, and we're seeing the old Daniel Ricciardo back. A bit of a dig at McLaren potentially that as well, that it all went wrong when he went there. But no, I mean, I'd love to see him back on the grid. I think we all would. It's just a lovely personality to have around.
He's a great character.
he is.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, everything is as it is at the moment. Hamilton's just set the fastest lap time.
There we go.
No change for Perez, still in 9th. Oh no, that's gone again.
Verstappen's
Verstappen. Yeah. Okay. Let's.
Verstappen's like, no.
They just told Verstappen, he's got what?
Let me just reset
Let me
that time,
just
shall I?
humble that boy behind me.
JQ says, as if you're defending Chelsea being 11th after spending 600 plus million. Yash, Aston Martin
Agree
to come
with
and
that guy.
catch with this Mercedes. Yash says Alonso and Vettel at Aston could have been very, very good, but we move. Yeah, that would have been pretty good, wouldn't it? Alonso and Vettel at...
Vettel leaves as soon as Aston Martin become a threat.
That would kick off.
Yeah.
It would.
Those two in the same team.
Yeah. Same with like Vettel and
Fisting
Hamilton
cuffs.
or Alonso and Hamilton.
Could you imagine them both fighting with each other though?
Yeah, it would be
Mad.
great, but these drivers can never work together.
No.
Unless you just want chaos.
Arslan says illegal car and engine similar to Ferrari in 2019. Engine even as Ferrari fan. I think even as a Ferrari fan, I admit that it wasn't illegal. Broke the cost cap to win their way to the title. The FIA is fixed. Simba says, I don't think they could have predicted the red flag. They saw a yellow and tried to take advantage of the fact that they have two cars. Their advantage today turned out to shoot them in their foot.
Well, and the FIA, I think, by not reading it straight away.
You did predict a red flag though, because you said
cars on the track.
There's car on the track and there's debris everywhere, and we might actually get a red flag here.
I think
and it was never going to get cleaned up quickly.
Yeah.
So like you said, you had a good maybe 4 or 5 laps of a yellow.
Yeah.
Of a safety car. Sorry. So.
Definitely. I think they jumped the gun.
I think they could have maybe, if they thought about it a bit longer. I think they
sometimes you've just got to breathe for a second and go.
Yeah.
Let's just think about what's happening here. Let's just have a second.
Yeah.
Buffalo said, will Alonso win the championship before Spurs win a trophy? Honestly. JT Live said Alonso rolling back the years so much today. He also said, I'm not even reading the audio chat, it's ridiculous.
Oh, this is brilliant.
It's literally 7:20 in the morning.
I love
it.
I love the way this is.
Please, why are you so spiteful at this time of the morning? Like,
well,
weird.
Maybe it's not
God,
morning
it was
for them.
7:20.
It's 7:20.
It might not be morning for them, you know.
7 for you, but for maybe that person.
For them, they might be in their prime part of their day.
He's like, yeah, right.
They might have just had their lunch.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know, I'm just so shameless.
Why are you laughing?
I'm just so shameless, man.
Ridiculous.
Like, it doesn't matter whatever happens to my club, you will always be in the mud.
No, but they're higher than you.
They are, but that's just one season only.
I'll do you still in the
I still have so much to look forward to and behind in the past. Like, it's just great in comparison. Who's manager now? Stellini?
Yeah. Stellini and Feet Ryan Mason. Collaborating on a managerial position.
What, Ryan Mason?
Ryan Mason and Stellini.
No, but what do you feet?
Yeah, featuring.
Featuring.
They're on a collaboration.
Oh, featuring. I thought you said
Means
nickname
too
or
much Chris
something.
Brown you have.
It's a feature.
I thought you said Lee Mason.
Can I ask you three, what do you think the order second, third, fourth will end up?
Oh.
Currently, Hamilton, Alonso, Sainz.
I'm sticking with my boy.
I think Alonso second.
Yeah. You think Alonso will do Hamilton?
Hamilton third.
And Sainz fourth?
Sainz fourth.
Yeah, I'm going to match the same as Robbie.
Yeah. Matisse?
I'm going to blindly back my boy to stay second ahead of Alonso. I mean, my prediction was Verstappen, Hamilton, Alonso, so I may as well stick with it. That's what I predicted at the beginning of the race.
Say again.
How many laps?
I said George would finish in the top
17
3.
laps left.
17 laps.
And everybody was like, yo, how could you say this about George? You're predicting him to not finish in the top 3. Bang, his engine just goes.
Yeah, but you didn't know his engine.
Or did I?
He's just having a lovely drive.
I'm
Max.
telling you, I'll do anything for this Hamilton podium. I don't care who it upsets, including George, to be honest.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see whether these guys bunch up a bit more over the next. Well, how many laps left? 16.
I'll be honest with
laps.
you, Norris has been brilliant. I mean, I thought that Perez would have overtook or got DRS on
He's
Norris
done brilliantly.
at some point. He's been really
Fair
good
play.
defending.
It's amazing in F1, like when drivers when they do get the lead, how they're able to just
manage it.
No, but just fly out so far in front.
Well, I think when you've got that car,
Clean air, nobody in your way to overtake. Don't have to go off the racing line.
pick
There's
up the
Max.
pace if you need to.
Yeah.
There he is.
He's just out for a lovely drive. No one around him. He's just having a great time.
Miles ahead,
He's enjoying it.
He must be the
Miles
easiest
ahead.
person to be on the pit wall in terms of, because once he's in front, it's just like
Just
They
keep
don't
driving,
even have
Max.
to watch him, do
no,
they?
it's just like, all right, well, we'll see
deal
you
with
at
the other
end.
driver. Yeah, we'll see you later. then.
We'll see you on the podium. Yeah.
Let us know if you need anything.
Right, back to the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. Lots of people, says Kazi, were surprised when Ricardo went to be third choice driver. Christian Horner had a couple of digs at Zach Brown, saying that Ricardo has picked up some of those bad habits. Yeah, that was following on from kind of what we were saying earlier. If Don Robbie was buying an F1 team, who does he choose? Probably, I reckon Ferrari for the red.
Do you reckon?
I think
Yeah.
I think he quite likes a bit of Williams.
Yeah, he does love
Ferrari,
it.
Ferrari for the red, yeah.
Definitely, he's predictable like that. Or he could go and buy another team and just
Or he'll just
completely
make his
it.
own team
Yeah.
like
Like
Audi.
Lance
Make it
Stroll.
red, yeah.
He could be the next Lance Stroll.
The driver or Big Daddy?
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy
Lance
Lawrence.
Stroll.
He's going to call it DR, yeah. DR F1 team.
DR Racing.
Perez is
Yeah,
now
yeah,
is now
yeah.
about to take Norris
Not
in
bad,
the next.
That's not bad. Let's get some
Lap.
investors. Any investors in the chat? Come on.
What for Robbie's team?
Yeah. I've got a clean
Let's take this
license.
F1 channel to the next level.
Yeah, let's get a car
We are the team now. We're out on
Can you
the
imagine
grid.
us
Can
on
you
the
imagine?
wall?
on the pit wall.
Well, we wouldn't have made
you imagine
the
us on the
Ferrari
headsets?
Mercedes mistake, would we?
Our strategy would be incredible. I honestly
would
believe
be.
that.
I think we would.
Can you imagine our strategy?
Do you know what? Genuinely, as a fan, it's so much easier to be like, well,
Oh,
obviously, like,
100%,
don't,
of
don't
course.
pay. But then I think it's in the pressure moments.
Yeah.
People feel like they need to make
Our
decisions
strategy
quicker
would be
than other
great.
teams.
You'd be
for
saying put the
everything.
hard tyres, I'd say the soft. You just put two on one compound on the
Yeah.
left side, two on the other compound on the right side. Yo, roll out with
There's
it.
Perez
No one
just
else
on
is doing
Norris.
it. Obviously, we've got something up in the other
He
team.
lasted a long time, Lando, but Perez is there. He's up to 8th.
But Norris should finish 9th.
Yeah, he should
There's
do.
no reason. Ocon won't catch him eight and a half
Perez
seconds
is going to
behind.
go run Hulkenberg quick time, and then it's between. He needs to get on Hulkenberg.
Could be two
as
very,
well.
very
Strong
important points for
gasoline.
Come on,
McLaren.
Sergio.
I mean, Hulkenberg, man, 7th.
He's having a great race.
Yeah,
Really
great
is.
race for Hulkenberg in a Haas.
Stunning.
You know, in a Haas, he's in 7th. That's quality.
A nice overtake there from Checo.
Magnussen's
Really
got
nice.
his he's got some rivalry this season now. Well, who did
The
he?
Hulk came
yeah,
back.
who did he partner with last season? Last season, Magnussen.
Oh,
It was Magnussen and Mick Schumacher.
Mick
Schumacher.
Poor Mick, who just liked to split the car in half.
Yeah.
Literally split that car in the wall.
Has
every
he got
single
bad
week.
taste because he had Mazepin before that? Not.
No, Mazepin.
Oh,
the
man,
thing with
Mazepin.
Mazepin was that they needed the
They need the
backup.
investor, right? Yeah,
they
Russian
needed
investment.
the investment.
Yeah.
That didn't work out either. He couldn't drive.
Yeah.
And
It's in-
then with Schumacher, who's the guy that he always calls at the end? Gene. And like at the end, every time Schumacher would put the car into the wall, split the car in half, you just saw the next shot of Gunther being like,
Yeah.
"Hi, Gene."
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi,
Gene.
Gene. Gene, I need more fucking money,
Yeah.
Gene.
Sorry, Gene. It's another 5 million again. He's crashed the car.
Still my
Smash the car.
favourite, I know I say it often, my favourite Gunther Steiner quote is when Kevin Magnussen like slammed the door after they've been in trouble and he goes, "What? He does not fuck smash my door." I want that on a t-shirt, mate. He does not
I
fuck
genuinely
smash my
believe
door.
Mazepin.
Oh, another move there by Perez.
Come on, Perez.
That's on
Up
Hulkenberg.
to
There we
7th
go,
now.
and it's now Perez
Yeah.
against Stroll for that.
Yeah,
Five,
you
five,
go
four,
that
4
short.
seconds
I
off.
I
genuinely
heard you
believe.
saying I'd form my own team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we said let DR
Yeah.
Racing.
So I do is a stroll.
DR Racing, that's a great
Yeah, my
name.
son
Yeah,
driving, in the second driver, my daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what about us? We pit wall.
Huh?
We're on the pit wall.
Yeah, who's your head of strategy? Who's your
No.
team principal?
Definitely me as your team.
Who's your
principal.
third driver?
I'm on time.
Abby team principal. Didn't you see what team she supports?
Yeah, I think
I want to win.
Yeah.
I support Red Bull across all channels. Red Bull Salzburg.
Red Bull Leipzig.
Yeah, Lightning
Everything.
Salzburg.
Can you read some chats?
Verstappen didn't crash.
Yeah, we'll
Verstappen
do.
didn't crash off.
Can
there.
No. I think Perez creeping his way up.
I definitely think Mazepin's the worst driver I've ever seen in Formula One since I started
That's a
watching.
big shot.
And again, he was another one of these drivers
Yeah,
where it was just
but he
the
was
money.
genuinely dreadful.
Yeah, his dad was
couldn't drive.
dad was a rich.
Yeah,
rich
that's what I'm
guy.
saying. That is one of the only things about F1 that is one of the
Fastest lap time. again,
worst
Perez?
things is that someone can just come in. Say,
You can
"Right,
buy
my
your way
son's
into
driving."
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of drivers like that are in there because of that.
Yeah, not a great day again for De Vries
Mazepin,
and
he
Sargent.
cost
Williams.
Lewis.
Yeah. Williams and
Williams and AlphaTauri.
I think De Vries.
Not a
I've
good
been-
day for AlphaTauri in general, really.
No.
Yeah, Sonoda's dropped down. I think De Vries came in with so much expectation because
Of
he
the
obviously
age.
his age, and he filled in and scored a point in a Williams
Yeah.
last season. Was it Monza? I think it was in
I
Italy.
think it was Monza, yeah.
And he came and scored a point in a Williams. People go, "Oh my god, this guy's going to be unbelievable next season." And he obviously not in the best car, but he hasn't made a dent even really. So we've barely spoken about the guy. And as you say, but he's not young. He's not a young rookie.
No, he's not.
28 or whatever he is.
Yeah.
Mid-South says, I'd love to see all the gang go-karting. Oh my God, it'd be so competitive.
I'd win that.
So competitive.
Are you good at go-karting?
You have to wait and see, mate.
When the new...
that sounded like nerves to me. That sounded like nerves. I'll take it.
You call it nerves when I'm overtaking you or lapping you,
I think we should actually go karting.
When the new one opens at Tottenham,
yeah,
we'll go.
That'd be hilarious.
To the
And we
F1
should do like real interviews as well.
Like they post race, analysis.
We should also do a practice, a qualifier as well.
I'm sorry.
I think they actually do qualifiers at some tracks.
I think they do.
Yeah.
I remember when go-karting my son, and I was like, thinking to myself, I'm just going to take it easy because obviously I know how to drive and stuff like that. And he was just like, he was up right up behind me, coming out. I was like, hey, where'd you learn all that?
That's so funny.
PlayStation.
PlayStation.
He's just burning me up.
Love
That's
that.
hilarious.
Yash says Alonso 3 for 3 and potential 2 will be so good.
Crazy.
South says big up Don Robbie. Yash says Robbie would make his team Arsenal Racing. Mid-South says Ty in a go-kart would be amazing.
Jesus.
Rodder says, did Robbie have a bet on Arsenal where they will end up? Do you guys and ladies have a bet on where your teams will end up? No.
I didn't. And I would never have bet at the start of the season that they'd
don't think any of us could have predicted. So. I don't think any of us could have predicted anything that's happened this season.
No.
Freak
season.
Blue Monster said, did you guys watch Drive to Survive?
Season.
Yes. I watched Drive to Survive.
I did, yeah.
Didn't we?
Yeah, it's good to do a breakdown on that, actually.
Just a little bit of it. I've not really been able to watch all of it.
Binge watched it.
It's great.
It is good, isn't it?
It's great.
It's so dramatic.
Well, Aaron says, trying to give the sport the benefit of the doubt, but how can you call this sport dramatic in the same breath that you say once you get in first, it's just a stroll to the end? No, it's a stroll for Verstappen to the end.
Yeah, so much more going on.
There's so much more going on in terms of that second to fourth spot.
I think he's
mid-table.
just
getting a bit
warming up the
tyres, I guess.
The reason...
Is he just coming from tyres?
No.
He's still on the hards.
The reason why I always say this to people when...
I mean, could he be struggling? No, that's not right.
The track, that's what I'm saying. Why is he driving like that?
Whoa.
Problem with his car, is he?
The front keeps
locking.
The front keeps locking. Now this.
You want drama now?
This could be.
He just spoke it into.
You want drama? You want drama?
You just got your drama. Yeah? You want drama?
There's front locking on a Red Bull. Shit.
That's why you never, ever in Formula 1.
I mean, he still looks fine.
I'm sure he'll be fine. But in Formula 1, the rookie mistake is the race is over.
How much did Hamilton gain
and
there?
there's no drama because there could be drama.
Came off the track.
There could always be drama.
That knocks about 3.5-4 seconds off Verstappen's time.
We need more. That's not enough time.
Max, you're going to have to start picking up the pace.
I'm going to need Max to put it in the gravel.
Right, we've got 10 laps left. Come on, Max.
They're going to be keeping an eye now on Max because that's...
You know, he just didn't feel loved. The team wasn't looking at him.
Kylie Minogue looking well. Remember she had... she had cancer or
I
cancer
think she had cancer, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kylie Minogue looking well there, man.
Oh, that's good to see.
10 laps to go.
Do you know what it was? They were looking at Perez too much and he wanted attention and he decided to do
basically.
that. Yeah, basically what happened.
He went, I fancy the cameras being on me for a bit.
Yes.
Finally some attention. My goodness.
Arslan says there was worse drivers than Mazepin.
Who's that? Who's worse than him?
Don't know.
Who?
Who was worse than Mazepin?
Nobody.
No one.
Nobody
He says there are worse drivers. If you can name one,
there's no worse driver.
send it through.
Not from what I saw.
Send it through. AW says, I miss Latifi. Latifi
was bad.
There's another one.
Latifi was bad.
There's another
one. Don't get me wrong. Latifi was sure.
There's another one.
He says, I miss Latifi. Mazepin, the chaos they caused always spiced up the race. What else we got? Was lost, but now I am found. Said most people watch F1 for the crashes. Carsey said it sounds bad, but crashes always make races interesting.
I can't lie, that it does.
You know, as we always say, you never want anyone to get hurt. Like that. Fortunately, with that Albon crash at the beginning, it creates a bit of drama, and no one got hurt, so we're good. But this is good racing here between. We got Norris on Hulkenberg. And it looks like he's going to get him. I mean, this is good racing. Two very established drivers in Norris and Hulkenberg. And Hulkenberg doing a really good job to hold him off, to be fair.
3.
No, it's good.
Okay, 10 to go, guys. Actually, it's less than that now.
Yeah, 9 laps to go. Here we go.
Well, it seems that Verstappen has recovered from that little scare.
Yeah, he's just done the fastest lap.
sitting that fast as that.
What a shame.
Good day all
I
round,
don't know.
isn't it?
I think, yeah, Norris is saying the same, that Hülkenberg double defended, because you're only allowed to defend one side. You can't then, if the driver goes the other side, you can't come back and swerve around the road.
Yeah.
I think he did look like he went left to defend and then came back to the right, and that's what Norris is saying there as well. So they'll be looking into that, I imagine.
Kyberson has called
give up the
Latifi
place.
Go Tifi.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, Latifi was like funny with it, you know. He had mistakes, but everybody kind of just laughed, whereas Mazepin, it wasn't as
Do you
funny.
know who I think wasn't laughing?
Hamilton.
Yeah. Probably.
Nice. I don't like that.
I wonder what he's doing with his life now.
I don't know, you know, but I miss him.
I would love to know the reason that De Vries went with soft tyres, to be fair. Every single person.
Well,
what was the logic in that?
maybe data at
Do
this
something
point, you
different, I
know,
guess.
Yeah.
pray for a safety car to happen, then think,
Bunch up
but then
and
everyone else is,
Exactly.
I suppose if it was a red
If it
flag,
was-
it wouldn't, but if
yeah,
it was
if
a
it's
safety
just
car,
a-
I suppose it's the possibility of that, but at that point, you may as well gamble on something at 17th.
He's got nothing to lose, has he?
No.
Yeah, so Sainz has dropped away. It looks as though Alonso is going to be safe for at least third, but he is a second and a half off Hamilton still, so it could be tight for that second place.
It's the first day where McLaren are not the data duo. They're actually fighting for something serious. Because the last couple of races, they've just been looking at data the whole time.
There they are. Hamilton is still there in second. Do we think that we're going to see Perez make a move on Stroll? Not too far, a little bit far behind.
No, he's still just under 3 seconds, and he's only cut a second off in the last about 8 laps, so not really. Oh, there's the man.
There's the man, the myth, the legend. Gunter. Yeah, we're not sure that he's going to be able to do that and capitalise Perez.
Yeah.
I think Aston Martin, that would be a little bit offensive if Perez was to come and overtake them now.
Who would you vote as your driver of the day?
I still want to give it to Hülkenberg
For that near
for
miss.
that incredible manoeuvre.
Yeah, to
And
get away from
he's
it.
finishing in the points with Haas, so
Yeah, he's worth a good shout, isn't
Gasly's a shout because he's been on his own, really. We haven't spoken about Gasly, but he's
Nice
still
little
in.
battle going on here.
And Norris has
Hülkenberg
just
and
done
Norris.
Hülkenberg. As you've given him driver of the day, he's sent him wide!
Oh.
Your driver of the day, eh?
Hey,
Chelsea.
what's going on there?
Can you not?
What's happening over there?
What's
Oh,
happening?
wow. That looked hairy, that. Oh.
By the way, my driver of the day so far, if it ends up finishing as it is, would be Hamilton.
Why?
You know what I mean? You know, at the start of the weekend, no one would have thought he'd be finishing second place, would you?
Interesting, though,
That's if
'cause
he managed to hold on to that.
yeah. It's interesting, is it's driver of the
good
day or
from
driver
her.
of the
Good
weekend,
from
so
her.
I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, I guess driver of the weekend sort
Would
of thing,
be
right?
on the
Well,
actual...
Is Gasly
he was
a
third on the
shout?
grid.
I think
he's
Gasly's
second.
a
Yeah,
shout.
so he moved
That's
up.
a
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
good- Pretty good run.
Fifth is really good finish
Yeah,
for Gasly.
really good.
Really nice
Yeah,
move.
Gasly, that
I'd
would
say that
be-
would be
that
driver
be.
of the day.
Really nice move from Norris there. Did a lovely job on
He was
that.
driver of the day there.
I
in the gravel.
might retract. I might retract it.
But McLaren will also be in the points. But let's see if we can have any last minute
Scares.
excitements.
Yeah, about 6 laps to go.
Sainz, have you been happy with that drive
Well,
today,
up
Joe?
from 11th to 4th isn't bad again. Strategical error bringing him in before that red flag was flagged. So I don't know. If he'd have stayed out, Sainz is probably up there on the podium because he's driven
Yeah.
so well. 11th to 4th is fine, and Leclerc going out on this first corner. I mean, it's not a good day for Ferrari, not really, is it?
Do you say Perez is a bit of a disappointing drive when you consider that, like, last week we saw Max come from the back to, like, literally
second, yeah.
You know, and there were a couple of red flags where he had a chance then to go through the field.
You're
and,
totally right. Yeah.
You know,
I'd say last week that it was a pretty, in Jeddah, there was no flags. It was like a very straightforward race, and I think that kind of allowed it to flow.
but doesn't
a little
flags
bit
help
more.
you though? Because it bunches everybody back up.
Well, it
so-
does, but I think when you're also trying to get through the traffic, as we saw with Perez, it can be an advantage or it can be a disadvantage to you. And I think that with Max, he had the ability to just keep driving, and he knows how strong that Red Bull is on the straights, and just had that ability to do it. Whereas I think Perez, I still think coming from the back, he was, Verstappen was 15th last week.
Oh, he's got a puncher there, your boy. Driver
dear.
of the day,
Oh, why have you done
according
Oh no,
to...
Kevin
it's Kevin
K-Mag is the one
Oh,
in
it's a
12.
Magnussen, okay.
Is he going to get that? The question is he going to get that car back? No,
He
he's
ain't
not going to get that car
Get
back.
another red flag.
Please, I want a red flag.
We're not going to get a red. We are going to get a.
Magnussen,
He
don't
pulled
put
it over,
it all
though.
the way
No.
in
We
there.
might get a virtual.
Come on, man. The virtual's not going to do nothing
He's got a
for
puncher.
me. I need a...
Oh no, we're definitely going to get. There's a
Yeah,
wheel
yeah,
on
there's
the.
a wheel on the
There's
track.
a wheel.
Ah, yes!
We're going to
Wheel
get a
on the track.
virtual.
I need a
We're going to get a virtual.
I need a physical safety car, not a virtual. A physical safety car.
How did the wheel fall off the car?
Bunch
That's
everybody.
mental.
That wheel is dangerous, okay? We need to have a physical safety car. Somebody hits that wheel, it's a long day. We need to bunch everybody
Yellow
back
flag's been waved. Is it 2 flags or 1?
up. Come on. We need to bunch everybody back up, I think.
Oh, and he hit the. Oh, he clipped the wall. That's how his wheel
that's
came off. I was
how.
going to say.
Damage the suspension.
Turn 3. We've got 4
Yeah.
laps to go.
It'll be interesting because if there's debris, there is debris on the track. Can you see
Yeah.
further
Yeah.
back? Safety car.
There we go.
Full safety car. Now this is going to be a very fucking interesting end to the race.
That's what we love to see.
because is anyone going to pit and put the softs on?
now that's what I'm
Is
talking
anyone going to
about.
gamble for
We're not
softs?
Now that's what
Gamble.
I'm talking about.
Will
You're right there.
Mercedes gamble take
It's all
that
about
risk?
safety at the end of the day.
It'll be and
Will they take that risk, Mercedes?
I think we're going to have. I think we're probably going to have 2 laps of racing.
I think
at
we
the
should
end.
have as many laps as we need. I think we should just go racing, don't you? Don't you think so? Let's go racing. Well, what harm? What harm are we going to do?
I can't see Hamilton doing it because if he gives that, if he
Give
gives
the position away.
if he gives the position away to Alonso, he's not.
I don't think any. I don't think any of them will pit. Do you know
I
the only
don't
person
either.
this could benefit?
Oh,
could
he's
be-
pitting.
Mercedes are taking.
Mercedes
it.
are out
Is
there.
it a fake pit? Is it a real pit?
Who's that?
Who's that coming in? Is that a real pit or a fake?
That's
pit?
Mercedes team out for the pit.
Yeah, but
We talked
they
about
actually
potentially
doing it, though?
this helping Nick De Vries, and actually, you know, he's on the softs already.
Is he really going to come
That's
in?
Hamilton there. He's coming in.
Hamilton will never forgive
It's
them.
a
if they
big
get this
gamble
wrong.
if they get this wrong. They get this wrong.
Hamilton's not signing.
The
no
wheel,
time.
Car's still out there.
It's
Oh
tight.
my
So yeah,
God.
this is only going to be 2 laps maybe.
If they get this wrong, Hamilton is.
So this is going to be the crash where he hits the wall.
Very interesting.
How annoying is he?
Oh my god!
Goodness me.
How did that fly off just like that?
I can't believe it didn't hit the car behind.
Yeah. Well, that's why you got the halo thing.
I mean, that's really just very bad driving, isn't it?
It's just
That's like
lack of-
lazy.
Yeah.
Tired. That's
just la-
tired driving.
lack
Yeah.
of
Is
concentration.
that your driver of the day, though?
Nah.
No, he's the other one, other hat.
But you can just imagine Gunter on the pit wall going, fuck.
Ooh.
My god.
I mean, he wasn't in the points anyway, but still.
Yeah, but that flying tire
Bang!
is dangerous.
Oh, look at that.
Jesus. It's like,
I mean,
it's
those
like
are-
Mario Kart.
What's
he's
crazy,
just-
those tyres, that tyre's still probably going at about 100 miles an hour.
That's Mario
Yeah.
Kart. He literally just put a wheel behind him. Do you know what I mean? That is what he's just done.
Just throwing the banana skin.
Yeah, he's just like flung something.
It's
behind
I
him.
mean, he's really lucky that tyre doesn't
Yeah, look at it.
go anywhere near that.
Absolutely mental.
Is it Joe behind? I think it's Joe.
I've never seen that before. It's just flown off like that.
Hamilton here on the radio. There's so much debris out here, so if it's interesting, we might not get back to racing, depending on whether they can clear the track or not.
Wow.
It'd be a shame. It'd be a shame to
Ooh, they
see
don't
the race finish behind a safety car.
Well, we've seen it before, haven't we?
We have seen it
When
before.
in
Sometimes we should have seen
the
it,
big
we didn't.
stitch up.
Correct.
Yeah.
We should have seen that finish behind a race.
are you about?
Or red
It's
red
a
flag.
red flag.
Yeah,
So
well
we're
done to the new F1
So we are
director.
going to
Yes.
see 3 laps.
That's what we need. That's what
3
we
laps
need.
of racing, and everyone's going to be
No,
on
just
soft.
red flag
This
it.
is going to be
Red flag
There's
it.
no drama in it,
Don't
Chris.
ruin the
And
race.
girls.
This is gonna
Don't
be
end the race on
sick,
any
man.
sort of a safety car. I want to
We
see
love
a
a
red
red.
flag. That's what I want to see.
Ferrari red. Let's go.
Damn right. No Micheal Masey. He might have been in the paddock
But this
yesterday,
means,
but
though,
he ain't
This
here.
is big.
But this means though that they're all going to change.
Yeah, everyone's going to go into soft.
I'm fine with that.
It's essentially a mini sprint race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, we could have actually just started now at 7:40 in the morning.
Hey,
And just watched
Matisse basically did.
some of us knew what was happening. Some of us didn't. Right?
Oh, mate.
What was the point of us waking up?
Oh, this is good. We could have delayed it, guys. But
I'm not being funny. This is huge.
Early bird catches the worm.
So we
You
really.
nervous?
Nah.
You should be fine. Max will have it. He will handle it.
I'm not
No
being funny.
problem.
We could see. We could. If things go crazy, we could see Perez still on the podium.
Come on, Checo!
Talk it up.
They're all going to go softs. Everyone's going to go softs, obviously.
Please, Hamilton. Just
This is wild.
I cannot
Kevin
believe what
Magnussen,
we're seeing.
man.
Remember, it's never over until it's over. Formula One, don't forget it.
Mate,
Dramatic sport.
It is over for Chelsea in the Premier League.
It's over for you in terms of your season as well.
I know, but babe, our season's been over since the start.
Since it begun.
Since the first 3 games, the season's been done.
The drivers are hopping out the cars, so I think we can expect at least a sort of 5.
I think for somebody like Verstappen, that you've led the whole
driving,
race.
enjoying,
and now
sun shining,
cruising.
And also the other thing is, there's a massive mentality thing here. Like, as you say, Verstappen is just in cruise control mode, no problem. I just got to guide this car.
He literally drove off the road, didn't
Suddenly,
he literally had 2 laps.
They've got the lights out again. He's going to have unbelievably quick cars behind him on soft tyres. He's going to be on soft tyres as well. I mean, this is, and everyone is going to have their tails up because everybody here will back themselves.
No,
Can you imagine
3
if we
laps.
saw like the most random thing? If we saw like Gasly P1 or something.
Well, if we see somebody
Stroll
crash
P1.
out or something, you know, you just don't know. I mean,
I want Hamilton to send this car down the inside with no remorse.
mate, I got to say, this has been a phenomenal race.
Yeah,
this has
been.
been
That's
like,
been a great
and
race.
we're
That's
about
been a
to.
great
We haven't
race.
seen the climax.
This
yet.
is why you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
So right.
And make your way down here to watch these races.
100%, mate.
It was all worth it.
Or it will be if Hamilton does a job.
Hamilton does a job. Abby will not hear the end of
It's
it.
been a dramatic race.
Man.
How many red flags that mean?
2 red flags, yeah.
We've had a lot going on in this. Considering Jeddah was very
lot of stoppages.
straightforward and plain sailing, this has been.
Christian Horner there, like.
Come on, Christian, do not let
brave
me
face on
down.
it, but
Gotta get. I'd love Checo to get on this podium. I'd be so happy for him.
You better make sure your boy's winning the race.
Listen, my shark boy,
Max, I just need a little bit more of that lapse of concentration.
Honestly, bloody Kevin Magnussen.
Oh, we love it. We love Kevin for that. Throws a wheel back into the race and gets everybody.
Well, there's going to be some
interested
strategy
again.
going on there.
Let's go to production.
Yes.
Okay, so for this red flag, just to make you guys aware, what's going to happen is that the race is going to restart, but they're going to count a lap as the formation lap to line up on the grid. So essentially what we're going to have is a 2-lap dash to the end, no DRS, basically fastest driver wins.
Woo! Wow. No DRS. No more Max Verstappen Red Bull open wing 5 miles per hour nonsense.
So remember, you know what?
wins.
What this really going to boil down to is who gets that good start.
Yeah. Who comes out? Who?
Yeah.
Oh God.
This is how it should have ended in Abu Dhabi. Honestly.
But it didn't. Get over it.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, it's just
Get over it.
2-lap race.
In theory,
2-lap race.
This is huge. This is
2-lap sprint.
absolutely huge. 2 laps. First lap is formation lap. 2 laps race. No DRS. Straight
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
thing is, if you go back to Abu Dhabi, I would argue that Latifi's crash was more dramatic and
That
bigger
was worse than that.
than
Yeah,
what
yeah, it
K-Mag
was.
just
It was.
did. Why didn't they red flag it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Because they are
Because
corrupt.
Micheal Masey
Had a payoff.
was in Christian Horner's pocket.
Yeah,
That's why.
Damn right. Damn right he was. And that is why there's an
It's George
asterisk on
Russell.
that title.
You're very dramatic.
Well, he changed the rules. He just changed the rules. And that, I mean, I'm not even a Mercedes fan, but I still feel robbed by it. That was dodgy, man. That was so
Yeah, that
dodgy.
Not a day goes by where I don't
and then he got sacked.
Yep. and then he turns up to the paddock yesterday thinking that he can be here.
Yeah. My mate's got a T-shirt that says...
Leave.
It says, no, Mikey, that is so not right. So he wears it every go there.
They were selling cups, I heard. Honestly. These lot.
I love all that like weird F1 merch. Like, he does not fuck touch my door, and no, Mikey, that's so not right.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What an opportunity. And also, what an opportunity for Piastri on home turf to get into the points. In a
Massive.
Yeah.
Again.
big chance
I mean-
for him. Maybe
This
Tsunoda.
is huge, man.
He can go through a few cars, Tsunoda, get points, you never know.
It looks as though everyone learned the lesson from Ferrari and Mercedes and didn't pit when it went to safety and gambled on that there'd be a red.
Yeah.
So you know, they learned them. Oh, George.
Oh,
Could have been you, George.
could have been you, George.
Again, he'd have
Should
had
have
his
been
tail
you.
up if he was still in the race.
Why
on
is he
soft.
looking at the Red Bull there now?
Why is he sounding like
George,
Troy
George.
Bolton in High School Musical?
George, you need to
Yeah,
go
he does.
over to
Very
the
Troy Bolton vibe.
side of that Red Bull and kick something quickly. Give it a little kick.
Come on, Lewis, mate. I'd love this, man.
Nah.
Kick the side point.
Come on, Max. Come on. I'm slightly nervous now.
Is there not a part? I know you're a fan of Red Bull. Is there not a part of you that would like to see Lewis win this race?
No, if it was George, yes. I just don't have an affiliation to Lewis. I just don't.
But not even the team or like.
It just annoys me because he's from Stevenage and that's like 10 minutes up the road and he talks with an American accent. You live 10 minutes up the road from me. Talk normal.
I hope he wins. Honestly,
It just annoys me. I can't lie.
Anything that can you imagine?
Why does he speak American?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Right? There's no football for Tottenham, and Abbi gets annoyed by F1 instead. It would be brilliant.
What annoys her, right, is he's an Arsenal fan, right? So that's why.
Oh, is he? Is he a gooner?
He is. He's a gooner. So I'm backing Lewis. Carl Lewis.
And he tried to have shares in Chelsea when we were taking over. So
That's the ditched
that's
cars.
that's
literally the ditched cars. They just stick them under a tree when they retire.
of F1.
And his career started to dip ever since he tried to invest in Chelsea.
Interesting. I haven't got a comeback for that.
No, you've got no comeback.
All right, go on then.
Get
Let's
back
go.
in the cars now. Come on, Matt.
Should we do another final top three
Yeah, let's
prediction?
do another final prediction.
Are we writing it?
Our pit stop predictions have been going so well, so
Yeah,
do it.
Because they've all put it under.
I'm still.
Safety
I
conditions.
still think my prediction.
Who's got the pen?
I'm sticking. Actually,
I think I'm sticking with what it is.
To be fair, I should probably stick to what I said.
Well, I'm going to go again because Russell's out of mine. So let's. We've got a pen.
No.
Verstappen, Hamilton.
Okay, none of us have.
I said I had Verstappen, Hamilton, Alonso, but the likelihood.
Hamilton got a good. You know what? Hamilton.
The likelihood
Verstappen, Alonso.
The likelihood of them staying the same.
I'm going Max, Lewis, Carlos! Same as what I put at the beginning of the day.
There's no way it's going to stay how it is.
I've just written it on there. That's what I wrote. Like, both times. Got it from this morning.
You've doubled up.
Double done it. I'm going to go.
You're going with Max. You're going with someone to overtake Lewis.
No, I'll go Lewis. I'll go Max, Alonso, Hamilton.
You literally just said
Max,
that you would.
Alonso. So you think Alonso will do Hamilton?
You did it.
Oh, God knows. I don't know. Just Max when he comes out, Max doesn't always get away great. That's my only issue.
His starts haven't been sharp.
Big, man.
He used to be brilliant. He used to be him and Hamilton on starts are brilliant.
He's been a bit slow on starts today.
You didn't get to
Hamilton, man.
But then would Hamilton have enough in that car to stay ahead of him for two laps?
No DRS though. No DRS. So just defending.
Yeah.
Just defending.
And the DRS on this track.
Hamilton, Verstappen, Alonso.
Hamilton.
You know what's going to kill me?
Sainz.
If Hamilton goes ahead and then loses the lead to Verstappen, I'd rather him not even overtake.
My God. I mean, but we haven't even talked about Gasly and Stroll starting on the third row. I mean, and then Perez, who's in as good a car
I still think
it's
Perez
so interesting.
I think Perez is going to end up sick.
Imagine like with Verstappen, as I said, right? You've led that race the whole way, and then like they restart this now. Someone clips you.
Oh man,
What a shame! You a DNF.
Oh,
I mean, can you imagine?
Dramatic.
Now you're just talking Shakespeare, poetry.
Now I want it to be clean, whatever it is. I want whoever to wins to win it from. Even if it's Max, whatever. Like, as long as it's clean racing, I'm good.
I'm not.
You don't want to. I would feel really bad for Max if that happened. If someone, because he's driven a great race. Yeah. He's been a brilliant race. But he should still have to earn it. I still think he seems to be the best driver now.
I'll never forgive Kevin Magnussen.
If Max gets clipped, I swear, I will be so shameless. You will not hear anything other than that.
Rubbish.
Although the way that tyre flew.
He's not particularly under pressure.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
He just lost the car, didn't he?
Look at the speed that tyre hits
so
that
funny.
wall.
I can't wait to do a review if we win.
You do that.
You're here for it as well. Oh. Gotta love Kevin, man. Kevin is taking up that Latifi mantle, and I love it. He's embracing his inner Latifi. He said, "No."
Where is Latifi? I think he's off doing.
We will have.
Is it IndyCar he's doing in America now? I think.
I need to be watching more IndyCar then.
Thing is, he's probably the Max Verstappen of IndyCar.
Do you think so?
There's a lot of debris that flew off of that, and obviously that's that carbon fibre stuff, which is so sharp.
Can that puncture a tyre?
Yeah, easily. So sharp. Yeah.
So they'll come out, they'll do a formation, and then we'll have a standing start and 2 laps of racing. Wow.
See, it's because I'm here. See, Turn up for this race.
It is.
Dramatic.
That's what we need to
Can
see.
you not
Even
come-
if this
don't come
clashes with
back?
Dramatic
Arsenal,
from start to
if this
finish.
clashes with Arsenal,
come
Cecil's
back
going to have to
again.
hold it down. We expect to see you every race now. You know what I mean?
Don't ruin my day when I've got to drive to Northampton.
It'll be a good
I've
drive.
actually got to go north. Are you going there after this now? I've got to go there for son's football as well.
No,
today.
I have to go home and then leave by 11 to get up there for around
have a nap.
12. I'm literally
Black coffee.
going home to get changed real quick.
Looks like they're getting back in the cars, does it? Yeah.
I love Formula 1.
Oh no, not well. They might be in, but they're not looking to race.
I'm nervous.
Why? You have the fastest car,
Oh,
best
great,
driver.
Great into the race.
Starts.
This is as dramatic as it gets.
Yeah, big
This is
time.
like you guys said it. This is what we should have seen that time with Lewis.
Yeah.
Something with a lot. Why couldn't they have done this?
They'd have been on the.
What would have been hard?
It would have been dramatic.
And
as well.
Michael
It
Masey
would have
wants
been the
motor
most-
racing.
This is.
Tell me,
this is
what's better than
literally-
this?
This is actually the best
This
way
would
of
have been
doing
the
it.
most dramatic.
It would be more dramatic than the way they did it. Hamilton would have been on fresh tyres. Verstappen would have
Then
been
it's a
fresh
fair.
tyres.
Then it is
Then
a
it's actually a fair fight.
It's just. Oh man.
We all knew once he'd done it the way he did it that Verstappen would
Yeah, it was
have tyres. So.
I mean, there's so many people here that are going to have their eyes lighting up. Piastri for his first point in F1 at his home race, his eyes will be absolutely lighting up. Carlos Sainz will be, his eyes will be lighting up thinking about getting a podium. Fernando Alonso will be thinking about coming second. I mean, there's so, obviously Hamilton will be looking at trying to win his first Formula 1 race in over a year. There's so much to be excited about here.
Perez.
So much.
Come on. What an opportunity.
It's nervous in here. I can feel the tension. 1 minute and 42 seconds until the restart. Come on. Come on, Max.
Oh yeah, we literally got a dramatic countdown. Brilliant.
Oh, fantastic. That's what we want. So how many laps are we going to get, do you think? Did they say 3?
It'll be two.
Formation.
One
2
formation, which does count as a lap.
2 laps is not a long time.
Well, it'll be 3 minutes.
Yeah. You'd want to dive down turn 1 and just go straight in.
This is going to be quick, and the cars have no fuel in them now. Essentially, you know, so they're going to be incredibly light and quick. Oh, this is good. This
What
is
a finish.
really good.
What a finish to this Grand Prix. I'm glad we've got a 3-week break now.
Just to
Need some
recover.
rest. It just needs some mental recovery.
Do you know what? I would have liked to see the Chinese Grand Prix because I really like the circuit, but I think they had a no COVID policy, like 0 on
Yeah.
it, so they just scrapped it.
Where is it? Shanghai.
I can't remember.
Okay.
All right, engineers are off. 30 seconds.
How cool if you worked on the grid?
What a cool
That
job.
must be such a cool job.
They're still speaking about Micheal Masey on
I tell you, they work hard
the
Yeah,
commentary.
it's a lot of work.
because they're there like even sometimes a week before the race is starting, having to
Oh yeah, you're
prep
travelling.
it.
Travelling for
Loads of travelling. Like
mad.
I don't think it's as
Glamorous.
it's glamorous.
No,
as
but it's a very cool job.
the
very
driving is the glamour part.
It's going to be our third standing start of the day.
Okay, all right. Nervous.
Come on, Lewis.
Come on, Max.
Yeah, and we got 4
we go.
different teams in the top 4 spots.
Here we go.
We never see that. So cool. 5, including
Yeah,
Alpine.
so they're all
and
going to
Pitt.
race.
Yeah.
It's not going to be
There's
like,
there's no
there'll be
team orders here.
You know what I mean?
None of that.
Okay,
Max go
formation
through.
lap.
Five teams in top 5 positions. That is proper.
It doesn't get
man.
any better, does it? Really?
This is mad, mate.
Sprint
All
race.
thanks to Kevin Magnussen. Cheers.
This is mad.
Like you said, he did his inner Latifi.
Literally,
And to be
2
fair, he's done
laps till the
Hulkenberg a
end.
favour because Hulkenberg now has the opportunity to get more points.
Or get done by Ocon because
Yeah.
he was 8 seconds clear of Ocon. Hulkenberg. He was
Oh, yeah.
comfortably going to get 2 points. They'll warm up those tyres.
Heart is beating fast.
Let's hope nobody makes that stupid error of lining up on the wrong place on the grid.
Oh my God,
We've
yeah.
seen that a few times.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, that. It is a bit ridiculous. How do they do that?
Not put the car up to the right place. You know what I mean? Like they can go 150 miles an hour around a corner, but
can't
not
park
put it
the
on a
car.
line.
Parking is what
Mad.
people always struggle with when they learn how to drive.
Oh God, Matt, I'm buzzing. Oh,
That's how I feel inside.
I've done that like 5 times now. I'm really nervous.
Oh man, this is so big.
I feel sick for him if he doesn't win this race.
I feel wonderful. This is all I needed. All I wanted. A chance. Just a chance. One chance.
Can you make it count? Guys, let us know what you think in the chat.
It's all suddenly got very tense and
It's
very
tense in
real.
here.
They're saying it's hammer time.
Hammer time, baby!
It's hammer time. It is hammer time, guys.
No DRS on the 2 laps.
It's hammer
Just a
time.
straight shootout. Straight shootout.
Hammer time, guys. I will have liftoff if we return to the top.
I'm calling it. Carlos Sainz going to do a job. Come on, mate.
He's going to overtake all 3 cars.
Yeah, Carlos going to win.
You know what? I just get a
imagine?
feeling it could be a crash.
Yeah.
But they're going to be
Everyone's
because
gonna be
everybody's
so
going to be
on
so
If there's
aggressive.
another crash, they'll just call. What will they do? Just call it.
It depends, I suppose, how bad it is. But I suppose
So-
they potentially would read it again.
Read
I
it
don't
again.
know,
Just,
but
yeah, they wouldn't
And
call
on
it.
where it comes. If it was after 1 lap, then I think they would just have to give the positions that are at the last point that they could mark it.
Yeah, but if there was a crash at like turn 1.
They'd have to read it. If it was bad enough, then they'd probably take that lap back. Like how they did Jumbo at Silverstone with Joe's
Yeah.
crash. They just restarted the race, and even though if people had overtaken, those positions went back to how they were.
Yes, you are correct. Oh.
Track temperature is going to be a lot cooler, so there's going to be no heat in those tyres at all
No grip.
from the standing start. So yeah, we could quite possibly see lockups into the first turn if people are thinking about braking slightly late. I mean, this is big, man. This is
Red
so
Bull Garage
big.
looks nervous.
Red Bull in the garage all standing up stressed.
Huge moment here.
And is
Build
it
up all weekend for two
Is it
laps.
P2 that get the inside line?
It
It is, isn't it? Or is it?
Yeah, it is. It is P2. It's a right turn. So
Yeah.
Who was it? You was it you were saying earlier that like it's not always pole drivers don't always get the best
No.
yeah.
starts in Australia.
Yeah.
P2.
This is going to be interesting. Here we go.
Oh my god, I'm
Here
really
we go. That's the
nervous.
formation
Hold
lap.
that right now, do they?
I'm really nervous.
This is mad.
There's only 16 cars left.
Come on, Hamilton. I'm with you, Matisse, man. Let's get
Yeah, this is the one. I'm telling you.
It'd be good for F1
we need a win.
to have a,
Yeah.
a
Here we go.
on,
Three
let's
different
start,
non-red
Three
Come
different
on.
winners in 3 races.
You say this is boring. It's mad.
Come on, Hamilton.
Here
Come
we
on,
go.
Max,
Here we
come
go.
on.
Come on. Oh, Max has got a great start.
Go,
Great start
Max.
for Max and Alonso.
Oh, he does,
Really good
doesn't
from
he?
Alonso.
Max is
Come on,
away.
Max.
Max has got a great
Nice.
start.
Oh my god!
Alonso.
Oh my god!
That's another crash.
They're gonna yellow it. They're gonna have to red it.
That car.
Alonso goes off. Red! Oh my god! Max better do it again! Max better do that shit again! This is unbelievable! Max better do that again! He better do it again!
Science, isn't it?
Oh my god!
No, it's both Alpines!
Oh my days.
It's both Alpines!
You better do it again. We're going again.
Nah, it's race over.
Take that lap back.
That should be race over.
Nah, turn one.
Ocon.
They're going to call that
Let's
off.
let's have a think here, because will they give because if they can't mark who had overtaken at certain
3
times,
cars out.
they'll give
cars
the
out.
positions back to how they were
3
lined
cars
up.
out.
But it hasn't, well, the only difference is it's Alonso that's not.
Hulkenberg is 4th.
That's mad.
Sonoda's
Either way.
Look at Tsundo. What the? Just putting that one out there.
Yo, read it and weep. Yeah, read it and weep, baby. Look at
They've
Tsunoda.
lost 6 cars. I mean, this is the thing. When you want to
this
go
is
all out and
mad.
race,
Yeah.
you are
Oh my
causing
God.
serious carnage. Look at what's done to the cars.
Oh my
I'll
god.
tell you what, you see the guy in the tow truck? He's been busy
This
today.
brother's busy guy.
He should have just run in the
hard.
race.
Doing overtime right now.
Mate,
damn right.
let's get another look at this.
This is carnage.
Oh my days. We ain't gonna have no
Really
cars
good-
left.
Really good start from
Alonso.
Max. Alonso, keep your eyes on him on the outside.
So does he just lock up?
Look at Ocon. He's come across.
Clipped by the Ferrari. Sainz, is it?
Was
no?
it Sainz that
I
did
think
it?
it was. That's the only red car I'm seeing.
No,
up
I
there.
don't know if they're gonna.
I mean, there's
It was
oh.
Sainz.
I've got to be honest. I can't. I think that's racing incident. I think Alonso has to come across because he's covering. But so how can Sainz possibly get out of his way?
As well.
There's not much that he can do.
No,
there.
Look at
nothing.
Perez as well.
Perez
going across
completely gone off track.
Perez right off the track.
Jesus.
Nightmare.
And last.
And then, yeah, we need to see what
That's
happens.
the Alpine.
there with the
Alpine
Alpines?
on Alpine.
There's loads
Can
of
you
debris
imagine
on the
both
track. Are they going to
Alpines
be able to restart this?
Alpine garage is going to be
And
fuming.
Alpine were having a great day.
They got
Gasly
no
was
point.
fifth.
Gasly was 5th.
Alpine garage is going to go nuts over that.
Do they? I don't know who touches who on the Alpines there.
Let's see.
So that they
That's
avoid
the
the first one.
There's
No
an Alpha
problem.
Tauri there.
And that's Alpine on Alpine. It's Alpine on Alpine, man. They can't be doing that.
Meanwhile, that is a big.
Oh,
Didn't give
mate.
enough. Did he didn't?
Oh my
That
God.
is a big bill they're going to have to do.
They
so if
cannot.
they're going
They
to.
cannot crash into each other on the final lap of the race.
I think they're going to call this.
I think we should go again.
Start the whole thing.
There's literally one lap. There's no point of even doing it.
There is a point.
I think.
There's not. There's-
No, and they have to
But
do
they
a
didn't
with the
complete
red.
the
They
lap,
have to
did
do
they?
a formation lap.
Yeah.
So it might be that the formation lap is lap 57 and lap 58.
gonna
The last
end up
race
with-
is one lap
We're
race.
going to end up with one car.
But I
That's
don't-
fine, this
And as
track.
long as it's not Max.
What I'm not currently sure about is whether they'll where they'll give the order. Will they give Alonso back that place because can they mark that he was further back? That's what I'm sure of. That's what happened. Do you remember when Carlos Sainz lost that position at Silverstone?
Yes.
But because there was a crash, they gave the position back, so they couldn't mark that he'd lost it. So I don't know.
Do you know what,
I
right?
really
There's a
don't know.
lot of debris on the track after that. And as I said, you know, with all that
Mate.
carbon fibre and that, they've got to clear all that. They've got to get those cars off.
You called it as well. You said, "Are we going to see another crash?" And
Yeah, because
Straight away.
you've got everybody now all of a sudden
Going for it.
has got a
With
chance
the
of
same
getting,
intentions.
Yeah, everyone's got the same.
On a cold track.
yeah.
With
Yeah.
fresh,
Cold-
with fresh
Cold track,
tyres.
fresh tyres, very cold tyres, no heat in them at all.
Yeah.
It's probably only 13 degrees now
Yeah.
in Melbourne.
Madness, man.
I can't believe those Alpines hit each other. Whoever was the one further back, I think it must have been
Should've-
Ocon.
you
Has
saying he
to
should've
just
pulled
go
out?
Has to go. Jesus, all right. I'm
Are
gonna,
they going to be able to finish this race? Is what I'm interested to know. Is like, will they even be able to finish it?
Sonoda's 5th. I told you. Did you not hear me? I said this.
To be fair,
Hulkenberg is...
John Bottas.
they should really.
No, but you know the funny thing,
There's no car.
There's no cars left.
remember Hulkenberg...
Anybody who's still here.
Hulkenberg had caused the whole thing.
Anybody who's
cars
still
are
out
left.
there, any cars that are still out there are getting
gonna get
points,
points.
basically, almost. There's only like 11, 12 cars left from what I
This
can
is
see.
So this is going to be where I'm interested to see
Disastrous
what
for
happens
Alonso,
here
isn't
with Carlos Sainz and whether Carlos Sainz could be in for a penalty. Whether if this is a dodgy touch.
Carlos Sainz penalty. Can you imagine? That pushes everybody up. That pushes Hulkenberg into the podium.
Oh, I'd love that.
I don't think it's enough for a penalty. It's the sort of thing they'd say, oh, you know, racing incident.
All right, we've got an update from production.
Right, just a little bit of an update. Obviously, we've seen an absolute tumble with it, where everybody's been in a horrendous restart. But usually, in previous instances when things like this has happened on a restart with like one lap to go, they've usually just went back to the original order. And I think that's what they might do here and call it at that, because none of the cars have officially actually got through a sector to be officially counted in the position.
Damn
So
right.
So Alonso.
Damn
will go
right.
third.
We're going back to where
So
we came.
Alonso will go third, and it'll be one race, one lap.
I think it will go one lap, or
They might just call
they
it.
could just call it because they haven't, as you said, they haven't gone through a sector.
Have they spoken about calling it yet? From a production standpoint at the back.
Unsure.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, Big Daddy Stroll's come out.
Oh.
There you go.
He's like, how you doing, son?
So, oh my God. So, well, look, the Alpines are out 100%. They are not coming back into this race.
No.
De Vries is also out. So basically, we have 12 cars left.
10
Okay.
spots. Yeah.
Assuming that Stroll and Alonso get put back into those positions, who are the two cars that get knocked out? Perez will get moved up as well. So I think it would be the two Alfa Romeos at the
It'll be
moment
the two Alfa Romeo.
that aren't in the points.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe we've lost 8 cars.
Look at Tsunoda flying high. I don't know. This is just fun.
You keep
Hulkenberg and
Tsunoda,
Tsunoda are
man.
both going to drop a bit.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, this is the thing that makes F1 so confusing is that we watch it every week and we still don't know the rules. Yeah.
Neither do the F1 FIA.
Don't really know what decision they're going to make.
I mean, this would be a brilliant afternoon if it stayed how it is. It'll be a brilliant afternoon for McLaren.
Oh my God, huge for them.
Huge.
Just staying out of trouble.
How have they managed to actually stay out of trouble? They've been in the midfield pack the whole time and they haven't caught any contact.
Driven well.
That's impressive.
Mental. It's 8:07, guys. We started this
Been away
stream.
for 5 hours.
5 hours. I'm feeling it now. I'm really tired. I'm really tired.
The adrenaline's keeping me going.
Yeah. We've seen one lap in the last 40 minutes.
Yeah, literally.
One lap in 40 minutes.
That's mental.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Hulkenberg on the
This
podium.
is the most dramatic of races I can remember seeing.
It really is. All of you in the chat who said it's boring, it's not.
Welcome to
That's
Formula
what they
One.
had to say to you.
Someone's watching their
F1
first
Showcase.
race, remember?
Yeah, if this is your first race, welcome to Formula One.
It's not like this every week.
Oh, so if they restart this race, it will just be a formation lap and then checkered flag. So whatever formation that they decide in terms of the grid,
That's it.
however it works, they'll do a formation lap because they have to,
Yep.
but that will be the last lap of the race. So we won't see any racing. It'll be the how they want to restructure this starting lineup, and
So
that's
either
going to be the fighting order.
Either way, I can rest assured that
Max Verstappen has won, and Lewis Hamilton has come second. It'll
There
be
you go. What? That's a good birthday for you.
What's the point in restarting it then?
No point.
well,
Why would you restart
because
it?
because they have to. Otherwise, it's an unfinished
Race.
Grand Prix, and if you don't finish it, the points aren't the same.
Well, I still think that's a pretty good day from a Mercedes and Hamilton point
No,
of
it's
view.
just been, you know...
So it's the third podium places we're looking at, and where the other guys are going to score those points. Blimey.
Damn, I wanted more carnage, just one more.
More?
But look, Verstappen and Hamilton back at the top again, the two of them, that's great to see.
Yeah.
Carlos Sainz looks spaced out as always, he's not really sure what's going on. He always just looks dead behind the eyes, doesn't he? Always.
Yeah. Jesus, he must be so confused.
And Bottas.
Bottas is, yeah.
I don't understand why they have to go back out.
No, because
Because
they got to finish.
Strange,
the race.
isn't it?
You've got to finish it, but surely you could just say, right, drivers, can we have an agreement that these are the places? Yes, done.
Why do we need to go back out?
Why do you need
it's
to go back
interesting.
out for just a procession? You know, it's Lewis Hamilton's dad.
I really...
Has he got an American accent as
I
well? has he?
probably not. He probably talks like he's from Stevenage.
Well, there isn't no Stevenage accent.
Exactly. It's just how I talk. They're 15 minutes up the road. So why has Lewis got an American accent?
You've got a bit of American accent sometimes as well.
No, I don't. I absolutely do not.
I'll be monitoring.
He has a full-blown American accent, and I used to think to myself,
How do you got American
I used to think to myself,
He doesn't
why
even-
does he have this accent? Like, I swear he's from like
most
my
recent,
end.
doesn't even leave,
the
he
most
leaves
recent
Monaco.
update is they don't. It looks as though then they're going to go back out behind a safety car and not change the order, meaning that the order that we see right now is going to be the finishing order of the race.
Wow.
That's the most recent update we have. Now that might change.
Nico Hulkenberg.
What if then on that formation lap, we've got one for you, quiz.
Yeah.
Right. What if on that formation that Verstappen's car say broke down?
Doesn't matter.
He'd come last. He'd
So
get
what-
no points.
Oh, so he wouldn't be.
He wouldn't win the race. No.
Yeah, because he's
Because
not.
formation lap is a racing lap, but you're just not racing.
Yeah, you do have to
It does count as a
participate in the
lap.
But
formation.
you can't do anything.
You can't do
You just have to
anything. You
basically
need
just
to
drive the car.
Yeah, just drive the car.
Which is a
So
bit
if
ridiculous.
you got a puncher,
Yeah.
My
Well,
bad.
actually, if you got a puncher, he'd probably limp it home.
Yeah.
You have to go in a certain bracket of speed, but
That'd be quite entertaining, isn't it? If he was on the edge of that speed that he needed.
and it wouldn't surprise me if that happened today as well.
Everything that's could have happened and happened today.
See, I heard the American in you.
Everything.
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 She said everything.
So that's-
Everything they happen.
Everything.
that's either what we'll get. We're either going to get this order under a safety car, or they'll
Reshuffle.
go back to the order. Well, here we go. Let's get production to do it.
Updates.
Okay, so there's been a very interesting team radio message from Haas where they're after telling Nico Hulkenberg they think that the FIA will decide to let them back out to finish the final lap, but under a formation lap condition. So if that does happen for whatever reason, the results you see now will stand.
Haas getting fourth.
Fourth.
Honestly.
Incredible.
Wow, that is big for the
So
team.
it's either that,
That makes
or
me
the
happy.
other option is will have to go they can't just reinstate the order and do the formation lap. Surely they'd have to go back and say, right, well, we do the 2 racing laps. Because otherwise it's double jeopardy for those guys who didn't get a chance to race and are then finishing in a lower place because of crashes.
I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to go and do another 2-lap race.
I think I agree.
After that, the carnage that just happened, I think it's better just to call it a night. Which is, in fairness, probably what they should have done.
Call it a morning.
Call it, to be fair, I'm ready for night. But
it does not feel like 8:12 in the morning, does it?
Just think about it. You've got a whole day to go.
What
are you doing today?
Whole day of napping.
Are you doing nothing after? Are you doing nothing?
I've got some stuff to do, not a huge amount.
You'd be up to watch the United game.
We'll wake up for that.
Wake up about 4 in the afternoon.
What are you doing for your birthday today?
My birthday was yesterday. No, sorry, not yesterday. The day before.
Oh, how was your birthday?
26.
Where's the party?
Nice.
Unfortunately.
No party?
I went for dinner. Went to the F1 arcade. I went to the F1 arcade.
What's it like?
It's great.
Really fun.
They got the reaction with the colours, the drivers do.
Cool.
That was great.
I'd like to try actually. That's wicked.
Where is that?
It's in St Paul's.
What's it called? Radio Roof? No, Madison's.
Yeah, I don't know what the place is
Got
called.
a simulator in there?
St Paul's. Yeah, simulator. Yeah. I was terrible.
Big old Mexican wave.
Yeah, it was really good, but I was not good. I was not good at it at all. I couldn't believe it.
Does it give you automatic gear shifts, or do you have to do them manually?
I think it's automatic.
Yeah, that's much easier because the manual ones, I can't.
There's a lot of buttons on that. Yeah,
and they've got like 8 gears. Yeah, sometimes you're going from 8th to 2nd. So you've got like six downshifts. It's crazy.
I went one time over to what's that place near? There's that place near Milton Keynes where there's like an airport there, a little airport, and they got that big technology university there. What's it called?
Not the Escape.
Not the Escape. Technology university.
The escape room.
No, they got an airport. I've forgotten the name of the place, but I went there.
Seen it, I don't know.
It's like a university.
Oh,
there.
cool. Yeah.
And I went there and they had like a proper simulator. I didn't go on it, but that simulator is what teams use. Like,
oh, really?
It's like a proper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you see, it does all that, but it's like actually
to the T.
It's actually designed for each track.
Oh, wow.
For each thing, and they were saying they spent hours and hours on it driving before Prix. Yeah, but what was the name of the place again?
I don't know. I've not heard of it.
Oh.
Yes. Well, it's a good day for Lewis in the end.
I mean, they can't make up their mind what they're going to do here, can they?
Well, they need to hurry up and make up their mind because it's really early in the morning.
I know what's going to happen. Ricardo's going to come back out.
To be fair,
And he'll do it.
He's thinking to himself, "Can I come back out? I could score some points."
Yeah. So it seems as though this situation almost hasn't happened before.
this is crazy.
And it's not good for Fernando.
No, it's not good for Fernando, but it's good for Oscar Piastri.
Look at that smiley face.
They're saying penalised Sainz.
It's good for Piastri.
It's one of the best races in recent years.
Incredible race, incredible drama.
How can they not have decided what they're doing by now?
Crazy, isn't it?
Well, it's a new
That FIA.
new board.
Really interesting. And I wonder
what Micheal Masey would do right now.
Take it back.
He'd probably go, should we just sort of start from the beginning again? Obviously not, Michael. Like, what are you no, don't do that.
I reckon he'd take it back to the pre-Magnussen lap where Perez was 7th.
Yeah, he would.
Oh, that's a good shot of Toto.
Jesus, what a meme that's going to be.
Yeah, that could be a great meme.
Watch on Twitter get a hold of that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Micheal Masey should be like, we should just start from the beginning.
Yeah, let's just do it again.
Yeah, they've got plenty of
What
time.
do you mean, let's do it again, Michael?
Plenty
No.
of time. We got this booked out for the day, no? Yeah, but that's not how it works, mate.
Wow.
Wow. Well, they've definitely got their money's worth.
They'll go around the track. It looks like we're going to go for the formation lap.
Fans have got their money's worth today at that track.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow, so it looks as though the order we have now
It's the order it will finish.
is the order we're going to finish. I mean, that was lucky. Got that one right.
That was
Yeah,
lucky.
Jesus, that is one hell of a prediction, isn't
Well,
it?
from a Alfa Romeo's standpoint, they were having a terrible day and they've ended up in a great day. Same with McLaren, they've had a great day as well by the end of it.
I'm happy for Tsunoda.
I'm happy for
fifth.
Nico Hulkenberg.
It makes it
my
all worth
fantasy
it
as well,
now.
that.
It makes it all worth it now.
Now
for
you think
Tsunoda.
about it, it was Magnussen, right? Magnussen did
That
it.
pushed up Hulkenberg.
Pushed up Hulkenberg to 4th.
Exactly.
This is some mind games from
Yeah.
Haas.
That's some
But I would be
incredible
fuming
team play.
if I was Checo coming from back of the grid and then getting to a point where you're 7th, you probably can end up finishing 6th and then having to finish 10th.
Tough.
It's a tough break. Yes, production. Give us the update.
Okay, so I've got some good news. We're restarting.
Hey.
Woo!
But we're not going racing. What they're going to do is they're going to restart the race and let the drivers come around to take the checkered flag for the final lap. And I've also got a starting order for you. So the way they're going to restart the race, it's going to be Verstappen, Hamilton, Alonso, Sainz, Stroll, Perez, Norris, Hulkenberg, Piastri, Joe, Tsunoda and Bottas.
So they're going back to the
order.
original order.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm gutted for you with Sainz.
Sonoda doesn't get points.
So Noda doesn't get points.
Why are they doing that? Do you know why?
Because I think they didn't pass sector 1.
Oh, that's so really embarrassing as well that I got my ball
So
out.
your fantasy and everything's messed up.
Yeah. So Alonso does make it into podium.
Can we just run through that one more time in terms of the formation, please?
Yeah, I'll go for you again.
Hold that! Hold that! You got it wrong!
Let's have a listen to that again one more time, please.
Okay, so the restart order is going to be Verstappen,
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hamilton,
yeah,
Alonso,
yeah.
Sainz, Stroll, Perez, Norris, Hulkenberg, Piastri, Joe, Tsunoda and Bottas.
And do you know what? If you're Gasly, you are absolutely gutted about that because he was he was 5th that
Well, those
entire
cars
time.
are completely out. But I think this is
Can't believe
contentious.
how long this has
This.
taken.
Has anyone got any comments about this, Abby?
Matisse,
Sorry, I was
Matisse.
just
Sorry,
updating
Matisse.
I was just updating my incredible prediction. Making
Your
sure
incredible
It seems a
prediction.
little unsatisfactory. I don't know why. But
doesn't feel right, does it? But they didn't pass sector 1, so
They didn't pass
feels like
sector
they should just
1.
race the last lap.
they should. That's what I want.
Just race it.
Just race it. Just race it. What could go wrong?
Everything.
What could go wrong? It's only one lap. Can't harm anyone.
Watford started. This is a remake of Australia 2002. Was lost, but now I'm found. Says FIA is clueless. Buffalo says we're still not started again. WTF.
That's a shame.
Mark said race consumption behind SC in the order of the previous start. There'll be a rolling start as there will only be one lap left.
Yeah.
The checkered flag will be out as they come across the line. Penalised signs. Boo the FIA.
Yeah, it seems really tough that.
Yeah, controversial call. Alonso will be P3. F1 is just a mess.
So
Yeah. Yeah. That's something right.
Yeah, I don't. He crashed.
They all
Crashed that.
crashed.
If that would have been the start of the race, he'd be out, wouldn't he? So how is it now that he's been put back into 3rd? Is his car capable of going back round?
well, that's another.
Well, they would have put a tyre on it or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose they can make a
This
change.
is
but
They can go and stick 4 different
very,
compounds on it if they want.
It's,
Go
there's
stick some wet
always,
doesn't
tyres
seem
on
a
that
very
thing.
satisfactory end to
there's
me.
always a lot of controversy in the sport. We know there's going to be controversy in the sport, but it's oh god.
He crashed out.
I know. It's
If
mad.
he's the start, as I just said, if it's the start of the race, you're out.
I mean, Hamilton's not even back in his car. He hasn't got his helmet on yet, so.
He can't be asked. He's got 2nd regardless of what they decide to do, isn't it?
At this point, I don't really understand why they bother to do the formation app. Why not just call it?
Well, I guess it's maybe in case to check people's cars can go round. Maybe is there an element of that?
Bottas and Hulkenberg been sitting in their cars for quite some time. Just chilling.
If I weren't going to get no points, I wouldn't even drive around. I'd be like, I ain't driving nothing.
Not going back out there. Go
Yeah,
home.
particularly if you can't
May as
even
well.
get your foot down.
Yeah, may as well go home right now, isn't it?
Who's paying for my petrol?
It's the most
I've got
random
to go around again. Who's
sponsor.
paying for that?
Did
My
you
tyres.
Did you ever think you'd see Palm Angels sponsor a Haas car?
Anybody can sponsor
I know,
Haas. I
that's
think
a
we know
really
that.
random
They'll take it.
sponsor.
Anybody can sponsor Haas. As long as you pay, you can play.
Oh man.
Oh, God. Wow. What a race.
And they still haven't even started it back.
No.
Jesus, I'm going to have to cancel my other plans. going to be here until 12 o'clock.
Well, you always late anyway, so it doesn't
Sure.
matter.
You got time to work out.
This is why I do
how I
this. This is
feel
why I
about
do what I
it.
do, Robbie. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm trying to think with my head, not my heart. And I think if
Sainz.
Sainz was in third and got crashed out by Alonso, I would be feeling
This is why you have
they
to be
need
shameless.
to put him back third.
this is why you have to be shameless, like me.
Yeah. So I think probably it is. If that's the law, that's the law, and I guess it's the right decision. But it's tough, man.
There's Toto and Fred Vasseur having a little bitch, probably about Christian Horner.
Always, yeah.
Always about Christian Horner. I do love it when you see them all like bickering with each
Is
other.
Monster
It's
still
so
sponsoring
petty.
Mercedes? They're not, are they?
No, I don't think they are they?
Damn it. I still support.
All right, it looks like they are about to head back out potentially.
10 mins is when they're going to kick back off.
My lord.
Goodness me.
Yeah, exactly 10 minutes. Oh, man.
My lord.
Bring some biscuits in or something.
I still feel... I still sort of feel like...
still got my camera.
Right, so we're about to get the order confirmed.
I don't understand what's the point in restarting it. If
It's
you know what the
strange,
order,
isn't it?
you know what the order's going to be.
It is-
You get an
it's in
agreement
case-
from the drivers, and he's just.
It's in case it's to check that the cars can get to the end of the race. That's why they have to do this last
that
lap. Yeah.
Oh, he
to
brought
make
the
sure they
biscuits.
don't break down.
He really did.
Is that
buy the
Bourbon knocking
biscuits.
about? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
A rogue shout of a biscuit. Thank
Of course,
you.
I brought the biscuits. I was like, listen,
don't think I've had a
we're never
problem
going to
with
get
that.
started. We may
I brought a cup of
need
tea.
some energy.
Well, they're getting back in the cars now.
Biscuit for breakfast. Love to see it.
Wow.
Verstappen must be really itching to get his hands on that trophy.
He probably just thinks, can this hurry up already?
Oh, man.
I don't blame him.
I'm gutted as a Ferrari fan. I really thought we had that podium for a minute. And the Alpines, the Alpines end up the biggest losers
They
of the
really
day.
do.
Biggest losers of the day, unfortunately.
Craziness.
If you're an Alpine fan, then wow, I feel sorry for you.
Wow. Don't feel.
So,
Who went into who? Was it Gasly and Ocon? Ocon and Gasly.
I think Ocon went into
to the
Gasly.
back of Gasly.
Yeah, it had to be because Gasly was always ahead of Ocon in
There'll
this
be
race.
some fighting in that tent.
Hey, we wanted some French,
Yeah, we did.
you know,
Well,
some rivalry in the camp.
This will be
This
the
will
start.
definitely be the beginning of that.
They've got a month to figure it out, and I'm sure they're going to keep it as unpublic as possible. But there is no question that those two will be having an argument. Probably right now in their little, they each get a little mini house almost, don't they, for their mini office.
It's impossible not to. Like last lap of the race, and your collision comes from your own teammate.
Mate,
It literally doesn't get any worse than that.
I don't know, mate. I think
Because Gasly was in the points, obviously.
Gasly was a high
in great
point
position.
scorer.
Ocon was
10,
was
maybe. I
Ocon
think
in
he
the
would have
points.
got. Ocon was 10th or 11th.
Just
I forget
about.
how it went.
He was
but-
on the edge of things.
And McLaren come out as very, very happy winners of the day.
Yeah.
They were nowhere near. Actually, no. Norris was doing an okay job with a poor car, but they're both going to score points today.
Yeah, Piastri wasn't getting any points.
Yeah.
Before all of this happened, Piastri wasn't going to... Well, I think Piastri was 11th on the edge, on the fringes
Yeah.
of it in his home Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Controversy
think-
gets views, FIA know what they're doing, someone said.
Say that once more.
They're saying FIA know that controversy gets views, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, very, very political point, but correct.
My goodness.
It's a shame we're not getting a one-lap fly to
Yeah.
finish. And Alonso will be counting his lucky stars there. He really, really will be counting his
I
lucky
genuinely
stars.
thought when I saw all of that happen that we would go back to just go into the 2 laps of racing again and just restart it.
Well, it
because
feels
they
like
never
that's-
even
That's
got
what they should do.
they never
That's
even
what
got
they
a
should
sector
do.
1 done. So why are we
finishing
why
it?
are we finishing it? Why not just go back and do what you tried to do?
That's what
they
I
didn't
would-
get it done. So
Feel like, oh, Carlos Sainz just got a 5-second penalty, did he?
you're finished. You as a Ferrari fan, you better just back it up, brother. If
Mate, I think Carlos Sainz just got a 5-second penalty. That could be...
If that's the case, bro, just
Mate, hold on.
just pack it.
Hold on. Is that going to finish him last? Because they're all going to cross...
I told you the other day, it's a sign.
Carlos Sainz isn't going to be in the points. Why are you laughing, man?
Because I told you it's a sign. It's a sign. You didn't understand, did you? I told you.
You keep coming from my team.
Yeah, look, he caused the crash. Look,
and
look.
now
Here's a clip. Bang, look.
Yeah.
Yes.
oh my
sent
god,
Alonso
this
out.
sport is so funny.
He caused the chaos. Production's for us.
What am I... What? Carlos Sainz, no points.
Yo, this guy can't catch
He's
a
been given a
break.
5-second penalty.
Brother, ever since we started this channel,
I'm not being funny or anything, right?
in pain.
Do you know what, like, I used to love the F1. I've started doing this.
Oh,
I can't catch a break, mate.
Sorry, signs.
You've gone from
5-second penalty. And
Because
because
he
they're
caused
doing
a
a
crash.
formation lap, he will finish outside of the points. So I think I might go home. That might be it.
you've gone from podium to last.
And I really arrogantly got that out and was celebrating with it.
Oh,
That's embarrassing.
That's a
That will be clipped.
that's a clip
and,
for TikTok, isn't it?
That will be clipped and rerun. I'm gutted for Sainz. I like Sainz.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
That helps. Oh, God.
After driving all that laps on that, now you get disqualified 5-second penalty.
That's bang out of order. That is so wrong.
They're saying Micheal Masey is in the room. Your defence is in trouble.
Yeah, your car is in trouble.
I'm having a
Massey's
biscuit,
in the
mate.
room.
I can't believe this.
Micheal Masey is in the paddock somewhere.
I'd be saying at this point, I'm not going back out. Like, there's no way I'm going back out.
What's the point in, like, you know, they put warming up the tyres and all, what for?
I do not know.
I genuinely don't even think that he really caused that.
Can you see him in the car? He's like this. He's
Well, you
waving
would
it. He's waving his
You'd
arms
be
around.
furious. We're going to hear what he says
at
anyway.
him,
He's
he's
going to
gonna
come
smash
through
the
on the
wall.
radio.
Mad. Insanity.
It's a terrible day.
Anything else before we finish? Any more drama? Surely that's it.
Surely
now.
not.
Surely that's it now. No one saw that.
By the time we start again, we will have seen one lap in an hour and a half.
You know, I have to say it's unsatisfactory the way they've done this.
Yeah.
To me, I don't see the point in. I know what you say, it's got to be till the end, but they're not even going to come back out and race anyway. Just have an agreement with the drivers, finish it, say to everybody we weren't able to restart because
Correct.
of the big accident, and that's it.
And it's a seriously severe penalty for something that was an accident.
Carlos
Yeah.
Sainz rightly saying there, the penalty is too
What time is
severe.
the race
Wait
gonna
until the
end?
end of the race. Completely correct. They haven't even spoken about it. 5-second penalty for a racing incident.
Yeah.
the race was meant to end like an hour ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh
Literally.
man.
I'm
Can I
gonna
have
be
that
Less-
as a
less than an
as a
hour.
sympathy
I'm going to be
prize?
heading into
More than an hour ago.
No, but what's underneath it, obviously.
Oh,
Oh, the PS5.
I'm going to be heading straight into the rush hour. I thought I was going to miss that.
I'm going to. I need to dip at 9 o'clock. They've got 30 minutes to start this race and finish this race because I've got to go to
They're
Northampton.
starting in 2.5 minutes.
This is all
9
wrapped up.
8:33 our time is when they
Yet
start.
again, the one thing I would say is, yet again,
I
F1
need a
for
coffee.
me doesn't seem to know what to do in these circumstances. I don't know. It's starting to bring back memories of
Of
of that
Abu
Verstappen.
Dhabi.
I wonder if Verstappen's done anything wrong in this race.
because
Nah,
it
he's
still
a
looks like
lovely
it
race.
seems.
Anything we can
Maybe
penalise.
they
Just
now
been
got
chilling.
this written in, but it still seems like an unsatisfactory ending.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, I think it's been a bit chaotic the
People
last
just
the
waiting
last
around.
hour.
They could have called this.
I just
And I actually think I know that that we want to see everyone go racing, but I think the issue with having all of those cars go racing with 2 laps to go is exactly the issue we saw.
yeah.
You know, so many accidents. 6 cars ended up not being able to finish the race, and I don't think that is particularly satisfactory either. The damage that's going to be due to the cars, finances.
Yeah, both
You know,
Alfie.
I don't
Should have
think-
thought about that before
I
they
don't
dived
think-
into turn 1.
I don't think teams will be particularly happy about that, you know, all for the sake of 2 racing, basically saying it's an all-out war, you know, go for it. when you're driving at such high speeds and such high stakes, it's not.
But no, I like the restart and stuff like that when they raced. But this is just a restart now where they're just going to drive round.
But they didn't even race, Rob. They didn't even get past sector
No,
one.
but they
didn't get past the corner.
but they aim to race. Now, to me, if you're going to restart the race, they should race again. Otherwise, you just call it and say, Max, you've won. You're second. Hamilton,
Yuki's going to get.
This is all a bit pointless, isn't it?
So we're not going to see racing, but what we are going to see is, because it's a 5-second penalty, they can't go quickly, but Carlos Sainz is going to want to create as big a gap as possible behind him, because if you think the car in 10th is out of 5 seconds of him, he would finish 10th. So he's going to try and bunch up to Alonso as much as possible, or cause a gap in this formation lap. So the times from the formation lap are going to give the points out at the end here. So the chances are that he won't be. The other cars know that they're going to be on his bum. All the cars will be right up, and then he won't get any points with it. But I mean, he might scrape 1 point.
They're not going to leave. They're not going to have a gap in between them.
No, they're going to be right there on him the whole way. I mean, just absolute
unsatisfactory ending.
Totally.
Wow.
To what was a brilliant race.
Unbelievable race overall, phenomenal. Real shame that it had to finish under these circumstances, but I mean, we'll see. Interestingly, Carlos Sainz is going to leave that gap.
That won't be 5 seconds, though, won't it?
Well, not between the last.
I don't think there's any point in him even trying what you suggested there.
Well, the thing is, even if he does, he could get a penalty for going too slowly under a safety car.
Would that carry over to the next race?
The way he's going.
No, it would just be an extra 10 seconds or whatever.
Jesus. At that point, you may as well just speed past everybody and just have some fun.
Yeah, you may as well finish first. Yeah. Illegal overtaking.
That's what I do.
May as well just illegally overtake the safety car and just enjoy your life.
If I was one of those guys that would look, I'd just deliberately and finish first.
So literally all this
Park your car on the first
the safety car will then go onto the pit lane and then that's it done. Essentially another 35, 40 minutes for that.
So the safety car is going to come in and then they're going to cross the checkered line and that'll be the fun
it.
thing. So it'll just be interesting to see what Carlos Sainz, if there's some sort of loose plan to keep the cars behind over 5 seconds. I mean, I think it's impossible, really, isn't it?
They can't call it. We have to finish 58 laps or go over 4 hours to finish the race.
Yeah.
Well, we're nearly at that 4 hour point.
No, we're only 2.5.
4 hours. I thought it was
no 6.
3.
6. Sorry, 3 hours. 3 hours.
Yeah, 2.5 we are.
9 o'clock will be 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it 3 hours that is the max? Or is it 4?
I think it was 3. Maybe I can't remember.
It must be 3, surely.
I think
4 hours is a long way.
4 hours seems a bit too long. 3 hours seems about right.
So even if Carlos Sainz did appeal, what could happen then?
Or do they take the reinstate or get rid of the 5 second penalty? I really don't know.
Poor
Tsundo, man. Tsundo was fifth. And he's out.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to finish 11th
yeah,
again.
Tsunoda's going to get.
That fact.
He's going to get a point, isn't he?
First ever driver, as Coyden said, to do 3 races in a row, finishing in the same position outside the points.
But now Sainz is going to be deducted.
But I think that will take it. I think that might. Oh, so he might get a point.
So Tsunoda's going to get a point now.
It'll be interesting. Well, it'll be how far he gets back.
Have we ever seen a race where so many cars are out?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Well, do you remember when Ocon
We have,
won?
yeah, we have.
Ocon won a race.
Yeah.
2 years ago, 3 years ago, and that was similar. I think there was about
I think there was
8 cars out or something.
Yeah.
There are 12 cars only that have finished this race. It's quite incredible.
So, what's Carlos Sainz's plan? He doesn't have one.
They're clapping them in.
Should we go production then? Lost it in the 5 seconds, so he would be outside the time.
Okay, so that is Max Verstappen. He takes pole. Great win for him, despite the last hour of what's gone on. It's kind of lost some of the momentum. Hamilton, second. Very good day for Mercedes in that department. And Alonso, third. That's his third podium, 3 out of 3.
Yeah, fair play. 3 world champions on the podium. Carlos Sainz finishes 12th in the end.
Yep.
12th in a DNF for Ferrari, man. Oh, God.
Well, the thing is, if you look at it from that aspect, yes, but it doesn't tell the full story.
No, it doesn't. Not
of
at all.
actually what happened today. I think you probably would have actually had to watch this and see it to believe it.
In Baku, I'm sure everything will be back to normal.
Oh, we've got a nice 3-week break now, and then by the time we get to Baku, there'll be lots to talk
Where
about.
are Ferrari and the constructors after all of this, honestly?
God, no.
It was a great race.
It was a great race, but a good day for Lewis Hamilton, wasn't it?
Yeah, great day for Lewis. Very happy. Second place. I was kind of hoping we might be able to, sneak a little win there, but I'm not going to get too greedy. Second place is as good as we could probably wish for, to be honest, considering everything that's happened. Obviously with George, happy that the car's even come back in one piece, to be honest. But yeah, just an insane race. Doesn't really make any sense, but that's Formula One, isn't it?
Yeah, and that is Red Bull's first win in Australia since 2011, so that's a good weekend for them.
Yeah, great weekend.
Yeah, it is George Russell, Rob. Real shame what happened to him. A strategy that let him down, really.
Yeah,
and then the car.
Yeah, the car. His strategy. Yeah, first of all, he dropped places, and then, obviously trying to fight back the car. I felt really sorry for him because he was looking good, and I thought Hamilton did well to bring it in second. So.
Well, Perez got fastest lap of the day. He also got driver of the day as well. He ended
Driver of the day?
He did get driver of the day.
Perez?
Perez. Well, if you think about it, he was back at the grid. He was what, was he 19?
Yeah, but
And I think he finished in
I would give
a
Hamilton
very
driver of the
respectable
day.
set. Was it 7th he finished? Or because
Sixth.
of Sainz, he finished 6th?
Sorry.
Was it 6th?
Well, hold on, let me take a look.
That's what?
Driver of the day.
Max didn't get driver of the day last week, and he came from 15th to 2nd.
yeah.
That doesn't matter.
To me, it's either Max or Hamilton who get driver of the day.
That makes absolutely no sense to me.
Does
but
anybody
whatever.
know from production where Checo finished? Because obviously once we
We
take
ain't got
signs
it on
out.
Alonso's got a third.
Good day for
Stroll in
Red Bull.
fourth. Daddy's money got you there in the end. Not bad.
Not
So
bad.
a 3-4 for Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Maybe, or you
points.
could maybe give Stroll drop that.
Nah.
Oh, look at that.
Right.
I think. Don't get me wrong, I think Perez did okay. Like he did a
Norris
good
has
drive
finished
to get
sixth.
himself up there, but a lot of things fell his way. I don't know if it's a driver of the
I would
day.
have probably, Hamilton or Verstappen.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what
agree.
else
Hamilton, they've had a
Yeah.
terrible car, and he's just come second. Or Verstappen, who basically just avoided all trouble and drove unbelievably the entire weekend. I mean, I don't.
drive. He's got.
I don't really
to me,
understand
as well.
that.
You think about it. He's won it. He's had to go through all the little stops and starts of the race.
Yeah.
And he still kept his composure.
Yeah.
To bring it home, he should have got the driver of the day.
Yeah.
It
Well,
makes
he's
no
my
sense to
driver.
me.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, it's been a very long morning so far, and it's only 8:40. But thank you for joining us, Rob.
Thank
for
you
joining
very
us,
much.
Joe.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us, Matisse.
Great being.
We now have 3 weeks off
Wow.
until we get to Baku.
I was looking forward to an early one next week.
Were you?
No.
That is all we've got. But of course, we're still going to be bringing you all the content that comes out in the next few weeks. There are going to be upgrades, there's going to be issues, there's going to be lots of reaction coming from this race. I'm sure lots to talk about as well. So make sure you please like and subscribe to On Track GP. Keep following us at Instagram, YouTube, wherever you find us. And of course, you can still win that PS5. You can enter that competition that's coming soon to Instagram. So stay tuned. Have a wonderful day, guys. And we will see you in Baku.